Hey, how y'all doing? Well, tonight we are for another AIL Live. It's a reality check night in the living room. We're gonna see what happened. Looking like we got that skeleton crew, but you know how we always do. We make it work anyway. So, y'all ready? Because here we go. Let's go live. I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Art Imitates Live with me, Tanya Dixon. You're here to give us the greatest in entertainment, information, world information. I'm still defining what I want to say at that time, so it kind of changes every week. But as AIL, Art Imitates Live, you're going to get anything with us tonight. We're going to do our usual Who Spiked the Tea, talk about all kinds of topics that are going on out there in the world. We got some doozies, some things that are very interesting. And then in the living room tonight, we're doing a reality check. I know a lot of folks that need a reality check right now. But I want to talk about, can you tell that some things, the world is changing? Can you tell that the world is changing? And some people say that they do, but they talk about it in the most negative ways. And so I want to talk about that tonight. So y'all sit tight. You know how we do. Get a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back to kick it off in just a moment. Here we go. Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Tandiland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life. Welcome back. Well, it's time to get into it now. Let me go ahead and bring my folks in and go ahead and see how their day and their week and all that has been. So y'all go ahead and themselves and come on into this here show. How's you doing?
Yeah.
Hey now, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening.
What's going
Good
on?
evening.
Hey.
Good evening.
Yeah, we got some different angles going on here. I might changes to the blocks in a few minutes. But yeah, how was your week? How was y'all's week?
Oh, mine was same old, same old. Trying to hang in there. I got a little stuff, little something done, and But other than that, I'm
Hmm.
just doing the same old thing.
Okay. What about you, Mike? How was your week? I understand you were ill.
Yeah, I was over here trying to make sure Rona didn't take me out. Shit, hell, that's what you know. Oh,
Understand.
yeah, just 2 years of ducking and dodging. You know what I'm saying? Hitting them with the right and the left. You know what I'm saying? Moving and everything, and man. It got with me, man. It caught up to me, man. With everybody getting all comfortable and everything, and things seeming to be normal. certain signs and symptoms come across as normal, and people don't necessarily think that
Right.
it's that thing that's out there. So
Gotcha.
you know, it caught up with me. I mean, I won't put nobody business out there, but
Mm-hmm.
in the comforts of on our own home, man, trying to have, a selected few that that's over, and you
Mm-hmm.
just never know who got what, and then with the home chits and
Mm-hmm.
everything, you get one result, and it's
Uh-huh.
a false lead, and
Right.
it end up being the real deal. And I pride myself in having a pretty good immune system, but I felt like I had a fight with Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, and Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? So
You battled them all.
yeah, man,
Battled all the greats.
I was down and out for a minute. Had me recontemplating my whole situation here. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I
but I'm
saw
still,
your post this week.
you saw the post.
I saw your post this week
Yeah,
about
that was the real
yeah.
deal. Holyfield. Yeah. I was
Things that
feeling.
make you sit down. Yeah. I
Yeah,
got
nah,
you.
I was feeling. I ain't gonna eat up too much time, but
Hey,
I
fine.
was feeling
We
it.
got time.
Yeah. Nah, man, it just like they say, man, everything hit different when it's personal. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
yeah.
I
So
get that.
you know, so now that it's been 2 weeks now, so feeling better, breathing better, and everything like that, man, and
Right.
you know, drinking my
You
lemon
lose your
water,
taste.
my sea moss. You know what I'm saying? I'm look
Uh-oh.
here,
He's sea
yeah,
mossing it.
man.
What'd you say,
You know what I'm saying?
Veronica?
Look, everything natural. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I
Did you lose your
understand.
taste?
Sorry. Uh, Initially no, but excuse me.
Sure.
Ah, initially no, and I'm real big. My nose, my taste. That's like my thing. I'm hyper sensitive nose. I smell stuff that normal people don't smell. So when I can't smell, I automatically can't taste. And when them two ain't working in sync, I don't eat. But you gotta
Right.
eat to get
Right.
better. You know what I'm saying? But if I can't taste no food, because I'm
Sure.
a foodie. So if I can't taste my food, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a whole waste. But um, what's crazy was about 10 days in is when it started messing with me. And I don't know if that was due
Right.
to swollen glands or whatever, but 10 days in, it did that. Right when I was thinking I supposed to be getting whatever, it did that. And I was like, okay, I'm finna enjoy my food now. And then everything was just off. You know what I'm saying? Just the
Mm-hmm.
regular. I know something's supposed to smell like something, and I'm like, that ain't it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Then when I go to try to eat my little snacks, I was like, that damn show ain't it. You know what? I don't even want it. You know what I'm saying? So remember, I was
Right.
telling y'all I went from like 220 to like
Mm-hmm.
180. Then I
Right.
went down from 180 to like 177. Then I
Uh-huh.
kept fluctuating. So I was like, and I can't get too damn skinny because I'm gonna look like like that the old folks say, something wrong with him. Like he's sick.
The old folks say death eating soda cracker. You remember
Yeah,
that?
you know
You
what I
remember
mean?
that?
So
Death eating soda cracker. I'm like,
man, so
I
I ain't heard that
understand.
in so long, Tanya.
I totally
man,
understand. I
so
know
but
that my
yeah,
mom used to say that all the time.
but now back at it, man, and just you
Good.
start you start wondering like, okay, is it my time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you start questioning everything, man. And
Yeah, I understand.
hey,
But we'll talk about
you know
that
how
one
they
in a
say,
minute.
trying to tell you know how they say, like when you have somebody who was like them old folk back in your neighborhood who was mean and grouchy, then all of a sudden they just flip and turn nice, and then
Right.
and the folks will tell you, they be like, oh, that's just the old lady trying to get into heaven. She trying to get
Right.
into heaven now. You know what I mean?
Mm,
you know.
but
So, but nah, man,
okay.
it's that was the last 2 weeks, man. But then during that time, you know, I was putting in for some job interviews and stuff like that. And then finally got some call back. So I had some interviews,
Right.
which apparently I did well, but not well enough, you know. So,
Right.
but it's good going through the process, getting back out there. I mean, I don't have to work, but you know, I feel like I want to do something to occupy my time. And I got
Do some
told,
volunteer work.
man, I got told no. That shit hurt. I'm sorry. That hurt my feelings a little bit, man.
A volunteer?
No. I'm talking about like I was applying for a job. I put in resumes and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I got the interview. I did very, very well. At least that's what they told me. And you know, I got told no. You know, that stung a little bit. You know, you know, and then, but I mean, either it is or it ain't. You know, what's meant to be will be. So just realization. I do have a question for that though. I don't know if now's the right format for it, but I do have a question, and it's sad that it even has to be a question. You know, I don't know if I'm
I've got a comment on that. It's called ageism.
Is it ageism? You think it's ageism?
They want to hire little young people who they don't have to pay very much.
Oh, well, they're gonna have to pay me. But so my thing is this, and I don't know if is this gossip time or free time?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Y'all excuse me for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I wanted you here so you could go and do what you're doing. I wanted you here. I ain't seen you in a long time, and now you want to go missing.
No, he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be left alone with me because I might beat him up.
60 seconds. You said 1 minute, and I'm counting.
He's afraid I'm going to beat him up.
Go ahead, B. Come on. Go ahead. I'll wait on you.
We'll be here, Ron.
Yeah, go on, do your thing, Mama.
Mike, go ahead and tell me what you're saying, though, when it comes to whatever question you have. Now, that's just my view. And first of all, I say hi to Jimmy. Jimmy, he's saying hello to all of us. And
what's happening, Jimmy?
He's saying get on the stage and do a comedy set. That's what he's telling you to do.
Oh, that's what he want me to do? Man, go on, Jimmy, man. Go on. You trying to get me out of here, man. But so one of the things that I feel is crazy, right, in life in America, and it could be worldwide, is that you know, I got like the letdown message. It came, but it wasn't so bad. It was like, hey, you know, we told you in the beginning that, you know, different contractors bid on this position and blah 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 blah, which they did give me heads up. And then it was like they beat us to it. Like they that person that they submitted and asked, and they submitted an offer, he accepted or whatever, and so that position got filled. However, your resume was so impressive, we got other slots that we're looking at, but we have to go through the wickets. And then if we get something, you're like, right now, you're our prime candidate. And I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, and I don't know if that's the real deal or if that's just the easy way to let somebody down. But I haven't been told, I haven't had an interview in like 20 something years. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm going through the process. I feel good. You know, everybody laughing and stuff. You know what I mean? And then it's like, yeah, sorry. Right? Like, right. So what the thing
I'm telling you,
hold on.
Only from okay.
It's not, now don't throw ageism in there yet. But when you don't
I'm talking
get
about myself, I'm dealing with that
right
now.
Okay. But when you don't get it as a Black person or person of color, minority, if you fit whatever description, Black, brown, you know, whatever, the thing that you end up thinking, and it's sad, but one of the reasons that you end up thinking that you did not get selected is it potentially could be you know, the questions that I answered, you know, what race are you? You're not making it about race, but you wonder, man, is it that? Right? You do wonder that.
Right.
My name is what it is. So when you see my name, you're like, oh, you don't know who I am.
Right.
And then when I get on the phone, the way I answer my phone, you don't know who I am until you get that deep into that conversation where you get comfortable, and then you're able to kind of be like, oh, this, it's 100% right here. He's straight up like
right.
And then the tone and everything goes well. Now, I'm not naive. Very well, maybe not the guy. My qualifications may actually be short of a few things or something, right? So I don't get that. But to wonder, like to even have to just wonder, like if I did not get selected.
But I don't know if it's over for you, Michael. I don't know.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not worried. Girl, look, like I told you.
I'm saying they might just get back. They might just get back to you still.
They might. I'm not saying that they did anything wrong, but to think if the interview went well and they praised my resume and my stats and all of the boxes I'm able to check, you know what I'm saying, and other people are bidding, and you're my number one candidate. I'm going to push this forward. And then you get the, hey, man, we were almost there. Sorry. And you be like, oh, man, cool. Because that's how I feel. I'm not salty, nothing like that. Because I don't have to worry. Right?
It's several different things. It could be somebody already had. There's several different things. It's know how I look at it.
Sometimes they go through the formalities, right? Sometimes they go through the formalities where it's just like, we know who we want, we got who we want, but we'll go through the formalities so that we, all our.
They do the same thing with houses. I just went through all of that with houses. Remember I said that I was going to rent one more time before I buy, right? And there was a lot of management companies out there that were taking several applications on one house, and knowing all along that they were going to approve one person, but they were just making money and just taking time to do this over and over and over.
Right.
And I ended up in a situation where I have people who only took one application on the home. And that's how, I was able to get in, but they wasted a lot of my time and my money. I spent almost $300 in app fees while people were just shoplifting my time. And that's how people do a lot of that these days. And anything, they kind of shoplift your time because they feel like they can, and they stand behind the policies and procedures. And at the same time, it's like abusing you, in the process. You're being
so abused. It's one of those things where, right. And I just want to clear the air that I'm not naive. Like somebody else could have been the best candidate, and I'm totally fine with that. Like I said, I don't have to work. I'm working. I'm trying to work because I want to, not because I have to. See what I'm saying? Right. But it's kind of like this. If you get pulled over by the cops, you very well may have broken the law. But one of the things in America, one of the things that you're going to ask yourself is, am I being profiled or is this a legit stop? You see what I'm saying?
I get you.
Right? And that's kind of the thing. Is like, well, why didn't I get it?
Let's answer the questions that we may never know the answer to on something. That's unfortunate, that we may never know the answer. And I want to say, while we're talking, I see Margo is out there. She says, hey, podcast team, good to see y'all and missing y'all right now. So what's up, Margo? Go.
Yeah.
And I know that there was a major plan. There was a plan for this here weekend here, and and everything had to change, but we'll be back soon. And I'm gonna tell you honestly, I give my perspective of this week. This was a horrible feeling week. I hated everything about this week, how my body felt every day. I was sleeping, not sleeping for days at a time. Veronica, hear me? Would I be like, okay, I didn't sleep last night. Okay, I didn't sleep last night because I couldn't breathe. I think I developed a fear of sleeping because I feared that I would not wake up. And then I realized one night it got about 5 or 6 in the morning. And I started realizing then I said, you have anxiety. That's why you're not sleeping. Because I was breathing okay. I wasn't in any pain at that moment, but it was just plain anxiety. So I had that kind of a week. Um, Body feels so bad. Would not have been a good time for me to be social. Awful time for me to be social, you know. But the time is coming that whatever goes on with me this time of the year, here in Georgia for the last 3 years, I have been under fire with not allergies, but asthma, whatever it is it is. Next year, I'm going to be in Vegas. I'm just not going to be here. I'll just come back here when I need to during the bad months, and then I could stay here in the good months. I can't live where I feel like wondering if I'm going to wake up the next morning. It was a very, very, very rough week, and I'm just hoping and praying for a better next week, you know. But that's my story, and I'm sticking
I
to
feel
it.
like I'm glad. I'm so kind of glad we didn't go because you
Uh-huh.
sick, Mike got sick,
Yeah,
and what if we all got down there and y'all would have got to sleep when we got there?
I know.
Y'all wouldn't have had a good time. Nobody would have had a good time. 'Cause I know I wouldn't have a good time because I'd be worried about both of y'all. So,
And see,
you
it's
know,
worse to getting when you have asthma. You can't risk any other colds and stuff on top
I
of
know.
yeah.
I know
And so
that's what landed me in the hospital in ICU, and they put me over
mhm,
under for 5 days,
right.
messing around with
And
my
so
asthma.
mhm.
And then I
So
messed around, my
it
lungs
is.
collapsed.
See, that's what I'm saying. I am in a place now where I'm hopeful that my time of the year is coming, that I'm coming out of this and moving on, you know. Um, y'all, y'all want to go spike some tea?
If you want to spike the tea, we can spike the tea. How you gonna spike the tea, and what you gonna
Like,
spike
hey,
it with? Is the question. How you gonna do that? That's
come on,
the
give me a cup of that
question.
tea.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Come on, give me a
But you
cup of
know
that
what?
tea.
I know, and I still get to do the full opening. I'm gonna get back in. I've actually done a little bit of editing, but I'm gonna finish. I am going to finish. I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious. I got a whole show that I did for Soul Spotlight that I haven't edited yet either. So I've got a lot of work to do. Just fighting through the feeling. So let's go spike some tea. Let's go. You know what? I have a number of articles, and what I try to do, I didn't even get to some of them and go through and read them and reread them because the time just does not allow, especially when you're not sleeping at night and you keep falling asleep during the day.
Hmm.
It doesn't allow. So, oh, I know between me and Mike coughing, Lord have mercy.
Hmm.
Okay,
I got this. I
let's
I'll
got
see that
this
right
heater.
there.
I got this heater blowing on me right now. And that's probably not a
really.
good thing, but it's a slight chill in where I'm at. So I don't want to be too chilly, chill. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be hot either. But this heat is got me warm, but it's drying me out.
Uh-huh.
It's drying me
But at the
out.
same time, I got an air purifier blowing over here, so we both got some air blowing for different reasons. I'm trying to keep the air pure over here, and you trying to keep the air cooler. I mean, warmer over there. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm going to start from last week, some of the things I think that I found right away after everything was going. Remember, last week we were talking about, it looks like there's a continuation of the whole Benzino thing that was going on. Have y'all been tuned into that? His daughter and him have been arguing on social media. You know, his daughter is what's the name? Lorray? Coy Lorray? I didn't even know that that was his daughter until recently. You know, and this it's a cute song that she had. That's the only one that I know of is the twinning. You know, and she's had other songs, I'm sure, but the only one that I paid attention to is the twinning. You know, so
Okay.
50. Yeah, 50 Cent further taunts Benzino with tweet from trans model outing their alleged relationship. Now, remember, Marco said last week that's what everything was really about, was a relationship that that Benzino had with a trans model. So I guess 50 Cent decides he's gonna step in and weigh in and have his thing. So let me just run this for y'all real quick. 50 Cent and Benzino are still exchanging shots a week after the television mogul accused both Young Buck and the ex Love and Hip Hop Atlanta personality of having relationships with trans women. Okay. In one of 50 Cent's posts, he used audio of a conversation between Benzino and the trans model Shauna Brooks that suggested that they were intimate at one time. Brooks responded on Twitter: "My intent is never to out anyone, but my truth is always T. While it's painful to relieve publicly, I'm tired of men loving girls like us only behind closed doors and treating us as if we're disposable when it's no longer convenient. They want you to be their toy on their time." Okay, so on Wednesday, it's April 20th, 50 Cent reshared Brooks' tweet to his Instagram account and tagged Benzino in the post. He added
No, you
in the
didn't.
caption, yes, he did. He
Oh no.
added in the caption, "There must be a lot of this going on." Oh my, okay, 50. What made him do that? So Benzino is incensed over 50's allegations and threatening legal action against anyone who slandered his name. So during a recent interview with It's Tricky with Raquel Harper, the former Source publisher vowed to get revenge on 50 Cent for spreading rumors about him online. We're just going to talk the facts with this man because, again, I can't say too much because it's getting ready to go down, is what he said. Everybody that defamed and slandered me is getting ready to get sued. Every single site, every radio guy, every personality, they're all about to be liable. So this is what I guess Benzino was saying this. Back on this guy. We're talking about a man that I once helped, that after he had a situation at the Hit Factory when he got stabbed, he came to my studio that was not even a block down. He came in my session and I actually called him a car service to get him to the hospital so he can get stitched up. So they say, of course, 50 Cent has deleted one of the original posts that included audio between Brooks and Benzino. So, what do y'all think about this? It's kind of blowing up into like a little mess now. It's gone far beyond the whole things with the daughter, and it's gotten messy now.
Yeah.
So, what are y'all thinking about it?
Well, I don't know. But what? Oh no. I guess the point he probably upset because his daughter was messing with a transvestite or a
No,
Jim Jim.
Benzino. No, Benzino was allegedly messing with the transvestite,
Oh.
and it got out there, and he didn't want anybody to know. But like the trans person said, did say that she was tired of the guys coming around in private to mess around and then not knowing them when the lights are on.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
Mike, you want to weigh in on anything?
I don't want to even go nowhere close to that. I look at it like this here.
Uh-huh.
You like what you like.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? People like
Mm-hmm.
what they like. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, and I think now with the way times is changing, don't nobody really give a damn no more.
Right.
You like what you like. If somebody
It's
want to
a lot
make
of
fun of
people
you,
flip.
that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of people that want to, I guess, make somebody else feel whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at it like this here. Whatever somebody's preference be, that's what the hell that is. You
Right.
like it, like for me, I don't give a damn. If you like it, I fucking love it. Like, hey, that's you, that's your business.
Right.
But I do look at it like this here. In some of these shows, for example, I will reference The Wire, right? I will reference
Right.
The Wire because one of the hardest criminals on one of the shows was Omar.
Right.
Played, and that role was played by a famous actor. I believe he passed. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and everybody was crazy over this guy, how gangster this man was, and then he just happened to be part of the LGBT community in that role on that TV show. But everybody
Right.
praised him. Everybody was cool with it. Everybody was like, "Yo, Omar hard!" Like Omar just like man, he cold with it. And everybody praised it and liked it and loved it, and had no problem with what was going on the show.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? Because now apparently this is part of the rap industry or the hip hop industry. So what's the difference between praising that character on TV and whatever character that's out there? Because that's what it is. It's a character that's performing and doing all this personality stuff. Because in their home, they who they are in their home, and when they on their little set, they portraying a character. So
Right.
what's the difference? And why does anyone else care?
To piggyback off
You
of
know
what
what I
Michael
find
said,
is
I hope that made
right. Go ahead.
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
to
I
kind of
just
piggyback
trying to
off
be
of what you
careful with
said,
my words because I don't want
there's a whole
no
lot of
smoke.
undercovers out here.
Yeah, I don't want
A
no
whole
smoke.
lot of them.
But
Let me
like,
tell you
Rappers.
this.
why do you care about what somebody else into?
Right.
What somebody else?
I don't care
I
because I'm like
find it
Mike. You do what you do. If you're happy, if you love it, I like. If you love it, I like it.
because I watch X on the Beach, right? And I just hear people that come. They have all the names for it, whether they're um, uh, sexually fluid or what do they call pandemic? What's the other one where you're pen something where you like both sexes and everything? It's actually it's not pandemic, but it's all the different terminologies that people have.
I know what you're talking about, like pansexual or pan something. I don't want to
Right.
misspeak, but it's pan.
Me
Here, let me
either.
Google. Let me Google and get it right. That way we can clear that up.
Okay. And it's like it's interesting because I live in a city. I've said that to y'all before. I live in a city that is very sexually fluid. I mean ATL, and to me, if whatever you do it safely, what have you. I'm not going to
Okay.
be the one placing the judgment.
Let
What
me
is it?
clarify. Let me clarify this based off of webmd.com.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Uh
in the
huh.
definition that they give for pansexuality is the romantic, emotional, and or sexual attraction to people regardless of their gender.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
Okay.
where you were going with that, but
Yeah, because I actually had heard the girl on the show. She didn't say pansexual. She used another term, something with pan, and I don't want to try to call it because I'm not familiar with it.
right.
But it was something very, very, that she to use in her description. But I mean, what like you say, you all say you like it, I love it. Whatever people want to be and whatever they want to do, that's just totally up to them.
Yeah, I mean it's
But
hey,
what it is that I do understand at the same time is when these people who are undercover are not being honest and
Right.
using these people behind the scenes and, you know, abusing and using their bodies, but not wanting to claim them to the public. So I do understand that as
So
well. That's
is it a matter of things being said one day one way and then flipping the script, or do the folks that's getting involved with these people know that they have a reputation, know that they have whatever that they're trying to uphold, get involved with these folks, and then get upset when they don't want to claim publicly
it
or
could be
admit
both.
they think. You know what I'm
It could
saying?
absolutely, yeah, it could
Because if
absolutely
you know
be
that,
both
if you know
because
that's what you're going into, and then you like, oh, this
right.
person's a millionaire, I'm gonna blast him. You know what I'm saying? Then
Hmm.
that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But now, if somebody's professing and proclaiming that, yeah, just give me a little time, and once I break up with such and such, you know what I'm saying, we can go all the way, and
Hmm.
then get lied to, then yeah, you know what I'm saying, you playing with somebody's, that's still a human being, so you playing with somebody's feelings,
Fame
somebody's
and fortune.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying. So what's the motive behind it? I guess is the
Fame
ultimate
and
question.
fortune.
There's something too. I got you, Veronica. There's something too where I'm not willing to go further into this because there's another article where Benzino says Shauna Brooks crossed a dangerous line and he threatens to hunt her down. So there's just a little. I'll read this little quick little snippet. Last week, a transgender model revealed an alleged relationship with Benzino. The woman is Shauna Brooks, and she was the target of Benzino in a rant on social media. Hitting Twitter, Benzino shared DMs with Brooks and gave a stern message. Quote, "You keep lying on me and I'm going to hunt you down and I'm going to jail."
Mm,
So it got kind of nasty,
yeah,
there. And so
it
I
did.
that's just yeah, that's as far as I'm going to go with it. But to me, I don't know. I can't say behind closed doors if Benzino did or didn't do anything. All I know is this, folks out there, you better watch yourself how you playing behind the scenes because that stuff, what's done in the dark,
It's gonna
can't
come
come
to
to
light.
light. Mhm. So if that's who you are, claim it and keep it moving. You know, claim it,
You
keep it
might
moving.
open up into a whole new fan base. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, if you going, if I
Okay,
mean,
I
I'm
found
saying if they're going for their coins, then shit,
right.
I don't know. To each their own, man.
Well, you know what? This next story here I found to be hilarious in a way. Funny but crazy at the same time. This damn Charles Barkley. Have
Oh,
you all heard this idiot? He's so crazy. He was talking on video, and he was right with the other sportscasters. I saw it when it first was going down, and he was saying this, and they all just started laughing. He says, okay, first of all, the article here is Shaquille O'Neal couldn't stop laughing at what Charles Barkley said. And I remember Charles said, when a guy is banging you, you just spin off of him. And he was just saying all this, and everybody's looking at him like, what do you mean, Charles? So let me read the thing real quick here. Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley have made a career off making fun of each other since their playing days. Since Shaquille O'Neal joined in the NBA on TNT, and the two former MVPs have constantly poked fun of one another while discussing basketball. The dynamic and the rapport that the two legends have with each other is for many reasons why the Inside the NBA and on TNT is one of the most entertaining basketball shows on the air today. So this was a snippet. So this particular article was written the day after. So it said last night while discussing the series between the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors, there was a hilarious moment between the two stars. Charles Barkley was discussing the battle taking place between Draymond Green and Nikola Jokic, when he used a phrase that could be considered an innuendo, so Shaquille O'Neal could stop laughing, thinking about the meaning behind what he said. And I'll say again, he was like, when a guy is banging you, you spin off. Those are the worst defenders to play against because if you can feel their body, come on. So in a basketball term, he's probably saying something that people get, but in a real life term, they were like,
Mm-hmm.
"What in the hell is he
Spin off
saying?"
mean, oh God.
That you
He
know what
probably
that is?
Huh?
You know what that is?
What's that?
That is I call that tainted brain. I call it tainted brain.
Okay. Okay.
For example,
Okay.
if you put two babies in the sandbox and let them play, they're
Right.
gonna play. Child A runs over and tackles child B, and they appear to be on top of each other or straddling each other. The
Uh-huh.
kids are having the time of their life.
Right.
Adults or people who have tainted brain will look at that and be like, "What the hell is going on here? Get that get them off of them like that, or whatever." And now a harmless sandbox experience between two
Right.
kids turned into, oh my God, what is he doing? Who raising this child? What the hell is he seeing at home? He ain't seeing nothing. They just fell in the damn sandbox, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
Right.
right,
Right.
right,
it's
right.
just kids, you know. It's the adults or the mind of the individuals that make it that way. We get
Right.
it though, because that's kind of what we see and
You
know,
sound
and knowing that there's, like you said, innuendos or double entendres, based off of what somebody is saying or what they said and if they mean it or not. So, you know,
Right.
but it's tainted brain. That's all it is. It's tainted brain.
you sound like
It's
my
just
granddaddy.
it was just funny because I saw like a video. I can show y'all the video too, but it was just funny because when you're in looking at somebody talk, you don't expect them to say that. And I think I can totally understand what you're saying, tainted brain, because he was speaking real talk from things that have happened. But it was just so uh shocking to the ear for the moment, I guess you could say, and that's what got him into a little
And
trouble there.
I mean,
Okay,
Wow.
it happens though. Like, people say stuff, and then for that quick moment, your mind goes there, and you just like, okay, you know, ah, and sometimes you can't. It's just like, man, did he really just say that? Because
right,
we're in a world now where we're supposed to be able to be mindful and watch what we're saying, but
right.
sometimes there ain't no other way to say what the hell you want to say, what you trying to say, and that's one of my issues. Is I get tired of that. I get tired of trying to
Right.
think of clever ways to say something else when it's a quicker way to just say it, when I can just say what the
Come
hell
on,
I
say
want
it.
to say.
Right.
But
Right.
well, he's there. Man, if you don't get your nasty tainted brain ass on out here somewhere, man, and let me express myself the way I want to express it,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So,
But I really would love to show y'all that video. If you want to see it, you let me know because it was just I looked at it two or three times like, what the hell is Charles talking about?
I mean, we used to show videos while we stopped.
Okay. Sometimes the sharing thing, but you know what? I'm going to do it. Just bear
Go
with
ahead.
me
Let's check it.
here.
Yeah. Show it.
I mean,
Okay.
this is a video that's already been out there, right? So it's not like
Oh, definitely.
you're
Yeah.
showing or exposing anybody anything.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The reason why I was just like, sometimes when you start trying to share things, you know how we get every once in a while, it doesn't turn out that well, but I'm going to still do it anyway. Okay. So just bear with me just a moment because I had it on the other computer. Well, let me just Google it in my email. I forgot I can do that. There you go. Okay, here it is. And let's see. Let's go ahead and pull it up. And shout out to NEWSBREAK and to fadeawayworld.net for the story. So here we go. I think what I'm gonna do is Michael, my nose is getting stopped up. Are you getting me sick?
I ain't getting you sick. Hell, I'm getting better. So you can't blame that on me. You can't blame
All of a
that on
sudden my
me.
nose.
No, hell no. I'm thousands of miles. I don't know if it's thousands, but I know I'm a few hundred, couple hundred, then about between 800 to 1,000 miles away from your ass. So you can't blame that one on me. You can believe
I'm
that.
feeling like my nose is getting stopped up.
I'm more closer to V than you.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I know. I'm down in
And she doing just fine.
I'm down.
Perfect.
Whatever, man. I just think that I think it's mighty funny that all of a sudden my nose getting stopped up. So I'm just calling it like I see.
Well, it
Look,
will get stopped there. You send it right up under that humidifier.
you know what I'm saying? Look, you see
And it's
these
blowing out
nostrils?
cold air.
You see these nostrils? These are
I
nostrils
know.
of the Western Bantu people. Okay? You know, so I got nothing
I
but
think the
fresh
air
air.
conditioner on here. I think I got the air conditioner on.
What's that now?
I have the air conditioner on.
Really?
You know they say cold air keeps the
Okay, let me just let this come up. It's still coming
infections
up.
down.
Okay. Then I tried to do that here. I keep a lot of cold air going in the home here. Come on. I'm actually I'm closing up a few windows so that this can play better in my computer. In the meantime, in between time, I might just do another story or something because it's taking its sweet time coming up. Let's see. I'll give it a few more moments here. I'm just closing up, like I said, I'm just closing up a few windows to make it a whole lot better
My
than it
doggone
is
arm
right
is
now.
hurting.
Uh-oh. You have to take something for that.
Mm.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
When we get off the
So I
show,
need to close my.
I'm gonna tell you.
So, and you know what that mean? That mean no video. That mean it just tell people where it's at. Tell them where you do. Like you said, this is credit of whomever, and they can go look at it on their own time.
Oh, actually, now that all that is finally coming up now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here it is.
See, that
But I
you
spent
have to
so
play
much
the mind
time
game.
doing it.
You gotta play mind games with the universe. You know, ever notice when you just like, you know what, to hell with it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Then it won't play. So you gotta let it. You may gotta trick it
Yeah.
into thinking,
Then
oh,
all of
I
a
ain't.
sudden,
You, yeah, boom, boom, shakalaka.
it's ready to go. Let's see if
You know
this
what
is
I'm
the
saying?
one. Yeah, this is the one right here. Okay. Y'all let me know when you can see it on your side.
Okay.
Let me know when it comes up. Okay.
Waiting and waiting, and we are still
I went
waiting.
back to yeah, it's come on. Is it come up yet?
I can see
Coming, there it is.
clearly now that the screen is
It just
on.
takes it. Okay, how about that?
It's up
Ooh,
there.
Jesus, it took a lot. But let's see what happened. Let's see. It takes its time.
Oh yeah.
Well, Uh-oh, we got action. We got
Give it
something.
just a moment.
Oh.
Just a second. It's gonna get there.
That's not what Dre. That's not doing.
Oh.
Draymond is bracing.
Yeah,
And Joker, instead of going around him, he just banging and banging you. You don't. Those the worst defenders to play against, actually, because if you can feel their body,
Joker, only nugget in double figures. 69-59. Golden State shooting 67.
way out of order right now.
Back at the pool part. Man.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
They just be sitting around just thinking about joking on each other, don't they? They a mess.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying now, that it was just a situation where they were like, "What you saying, Charles?" It's no big deal. At the same time, it was just funny. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tainted brain.
what are you saying, Charles?
Tainted brain.
Yeah, I guess you could call it tainted brain at the same time. But it was just funny. It was a moment, I think, that Shaq had an opportunity to laugh again at his friend. All right. All right. Let's move
I miss
on.
Charles
Let's
Barkley.
move on. Huh? You miss him?
I don't like Charles Barkley.
Oh, okay.
No.
And just not really gotten into him. I can't really say much about that cat. So, all right. Let's do this one. Okay. Bill Murray movie suspends production after he's reportedly accused of inappropriate behavior. Okay, are we surprised? But let's just go into the article.
Bill Murray's crazy. He's crazy. Everything that he played in, everything that he direct or he is playing in, he's crazy. The man is retarded.
Real life crazy. Production on the new Aziz Ansari movie has been suspended over a mysterious complaint. It allegedly had to do with Bill Murray. A complaint was made against Murray for alleged inappropriate behavior on the movie Being Mortal, leading the studio to suspend production this week. This is what Deadline reports, and this article is from theweek.com. Being Mortal is comedian Aziz Ansari's feature directorial debut, and Deadline first reported on Wednesday that the Searchlight Pictures will suspend the production as it investigates a complaint. Initial reports didn't specify who the complaint was related to. I was saying last week we were made aware of a complaint and we immediately looked into it. Searchlight reportedly told the cast and crew, after reviewing the circumstances, it has been decided that production cannot continue at this time. It's currently unclear what Murray was accused of. And then, he stars in the movie in addition to directing it. And the cast also includes Seth Rogen and Keke Palmer. The film is based on the book Being Mortal, Medicine and What Matters in the End by Atul Gawande. Reports previously said that the complaint was not related to Ansari, who was accused of sexual misconduct in 2018. An investigation into the complaint is reportedly ongoing, and Searchlight said its hope is to resume production and are working with Aziz and the producer, Yuri Henley, to figure out that timing. So that is that article. But I have to just ask you folks, are we surprised?
I don't know none of these people personally, and so I really, to be honest with you, I don't give two pennies about whatever the hell they do in their personal life.
Mhm.
What they say, no judgment zone and all of that stuff. It gets exposed or it gets publicized, and then people have their feelings about actions and what's going on. I don't
Mm.
know them people.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I don't know,
no,
and they
Michael,
don't
no,
they don't do
Hello.
shit for me in my
no,
life.
no, no,
You
no,
know,
no, no. These are people. Let me go ahead and just say it like I need to say it.
you can say it how you
That
want to
name
say
is
it.
on that
I
list.
don't know
Yeah,
them,
but
and
that but that
they
name
have
is on that
they have no
list.
effect on my life personally. They don't.
But I'm saying that name is on that list, and there's a certain point where I think that people have said that too long, and children were raped, tortured, and murdered because of it. So I think it's time now for us to stand up and to, if we know something, we see something, we feel something, say
Right.
something,
And somebody
because
did.
kids have been tortured for so long.
Yeah, but somebody did, and it's being handled.
Yeah, right now it's being handled because people now are not afraid to say it. They're not afraid to step up and say something. For too long, people just brushed it under the ground. And right
If I
now,
was on the
I
set, if I was on the
uh-huh,
set and witnessed it, and it affected me while I was on the set, and I could see what was going on, and I was there, then
I'm not even going to
yeah.
just say it. Listen,
I'm
these
just
people
saying
have
though,
gotten away
you
with a
want
lot of it for a long time.
I get it. There are all kind of crazy, nasty, sick motherfuckers out there. You don't know that.
Hmm.
You don't know that about them until they do something. Until
Right.
they do something, somebody outs them. If you're in the position to out them, by all means, do your thug thizzle. But if you're at home, sitting at home, and you say, can't believe what you see on fucking TV. So I don't watch TV. If I don't watch TV, if I don't get into the media post and all that other stuff, then I don't know that producer whomever is a nasty
Hmm.
weirdo. I don't know that.
And
So
I
I don't
actually am
say,
telling you that in one of my first comment that I made was that I said that character was on the list. That's the first thing I said, that that character was on the list. And I'm speaking from maybe a different perspective, is because we, the people, have allowed this so long. We've played into their celebrity for so long, and they've gotten away with it because we like when they were in this movie and they was busy torturing somebody behind the
right,
scenes.
before your ass was woke, before you were enlightened, you were one of those
Hmm.
people.
I don't know about that. Something has not always sat
Okay,
well with me.
the millions
But
of
my
other
thing,
people before
but
they were
what I'm saying
enlightened,
is
you were
this:
one of them people.
not
You
even
can't.
that, not even that, Michael. What I'm saying is this: now that it's out there, I'm not so quick to say, "Oh, that's that person's business." When it comes up, I take it seriously now. When there's an allegation that comes up, I just
Uh-huh.
don't brush it off. Maybe at one time before I learned a lot of stuff, I might have said, "Wow, let me see, how this pans out or whatever." But now there is no see how this pans out. What did
So
you
let me ask
do?
you a question, and this is just me. I'm being
Hmm.
real because if I were in a position to do so,
Huh?
or to say something, do something, then I could do my due diligence. But now that you know that that person has been outed, what are you further going to do?
The biggest ways that we can help with the situation
No,
is
I
to talk
ask
about
you,
it.
what are you further going to do?
I,
I don't.
I
I don't want.
told
I
you,
don't. I don't want.
I told you
I don't want to hear
straight
nothing
up.
else about nobody else. I want to
Okay,
hear what
didn't I?
Tanya's
The
going to do.
first thing that I did, the first thing I said, I told you that cat's name was on the list. I already just outed him. I just outed it right at the beginning.
So
That's what I
you
did.
outed him, or was his name on the list, and the list was already
But
publicized
I'm
for people to
saying
see?
you asked me what I was doing,
Right.
not the other people, but you
No,
asked
but
me.
that's what I'm saying.
And that's the first thing that I told you, is because I knew that information. So anybody who's listening to me, oh, he just got outed. That's what I'm doing,
Oh,
you know. And there's
so
many of them that I'll do the same thing. There's many of
okay.
them.
No, and I get it. I'm asking because there are people that may feel like you, right? And I'm not combating you. I'm asking you because there may be people that feel like you, and it's like, okay, well, I don't have a list, or I'm not privy to knowing who's on what or who ain't. So what can I
Well,
do?
let me give
Now,
y'all a clue.
they may feel like you, right? They may feel like you or have
Right.
the same stance as you, but what do they do to
Okay,
do their part?
You're right, and let me give you a clue of how you can start picking these people out. When you
Okay.
see stars that have gone into leading roles in various TV shows and movies over and over, you don't just get it because you're a good actor.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Start looking into those people. And I don't give a shit who likes what I said or not. How about that?
No.
Roll
So
your eyes until they roll around and roll out of your head on the ground.
yeah.
That's what it is.
So
That's
for
what it is.
I guess so for those. So let me put it like this: you have people who have made millions of dollars by creating an article. I don't know if we can say certain names of certain, entertainment articles or papers or whatever, but they go out and they say, "Ooh, look what celebrity such and such is doing."
Not unless they want it to be killed. You don't just do it.
Right, right. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in the hood. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in the barrio. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's a whole bunch of like I'm looking at the news and some people I went to school with, he's all over the young man is all over the news based off of what
Right.
he did in Austin a day or two ago. You know what I'm saying? It was something that happened on 6th Street in Austin a couple of days ago, down off of, 6th Street and Trinity and Netches or something like that. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff going on. But because they're not famous, they don't get that notoriety. They don't get the opportunity for whatever them actions that's going on in these lower income communities. That ain't happening.
That's
But
right.
a motherfucker can be famous and we want to blow that shit up and then say, ooh, let's get into that because they got
No, I'm
money.
gonna tell you how it is.
And I'm not saying you. I'm not saying
But I'm
you.
just saying, this has
period.
only been able to be spoken about. Let's just be honest here. Let's not act like this stuff was able to be spoken about for maybe the last year. I'll give it the last year and a half, maybe the 2 years. We've been able to speak openly about this. In the past, if you spoke openly about this, they come get your ass. What's his name? Cappy, Isaac Cappy. Isaac Cappy outed all these people over and over. He told all the, if you don't know who he is, look up his name. And they killed him because you don't go talk about these folks. They will have you hanging from a doorknob. Remember I told you those how they suicide people? And so, but now we're to a point now that a lot of stuff is coming out in preparation for the transition that's coming ahead. And there's no such thing as you speaking up and they coming to get you right away because they worried about saving their own ass because they in trouble right now.
Yeah.
So this
I understand 100% where you're coming from. And so in so many ways, in certain ways, I do agree. But there are a lot of people that say, I'm gonna mind my business
it's a lot of
because
people who are going to
them rich
remain in
folks over
3D.
there, them
A
rich
lot of
folks
people who are
over
going to
there.
remain in 3D, and it doesn't matter if you rich or not. There's a
And
lot of
it
people going to remain three-dimensional.
right.
I will
And
see
what
your
does
ass
that
on that
do?
3D planet. I will wave at you while you go. Bye. It
But
was
what does
nice
that do
knowing
for
your
you? What
ass.
does that do for you? Why do
No,
you
I'm just.
care if they? Why do you
We
care
have
if they
a.
come or not?
It is a sense where if we're going to have a new world, we're going to have a new world,
Right.
and
And
we have
and
to
the
have
people
people
either
awaken
people
their
are gonna
brains.
and people are
And
either
if people
they're
cannot,
gonna be a
if
part
people
of it or
cannot
they're not.
awaken, right? If they cannot awaken their brains, then they cannot participate eventually. Not on my word, but eventually in the society.
Right.
It is just the way it's
So
going to be designed.
they,
If
they're
you
they're they're gonna be
so
a
low
part of it or they're
vibration,
not.
right? If you so low vibration that you can't wake up to everything that's going on, and you still want to run behind all this situation and keep your mind closed. I ain't even started talking about nothing yet. You wait until we get into the living room. I'm gonna piss some
But
people
why
off, but I can
no,
give a damn.
so does it offend you that some people just don't want to
No,
go
it doesn't
beyond
offend me, but
third
it
3D?
is offensive to me only when they try to shush me. I could give a damn if they want to hear it or not. But when I speak, don't try to shush me for being a white personality. Don't be trying
Girl,
to be
who
mad
shushed
at me.
you? Who shushed you, girl? Who tried to shush you?
Whatever. Let's move on.
I'm asking.
let's, let's move on
I'm
because it is
asking.
something that we've had this conversation. Remember,
Yes,
we have talked
we
about this
have.
different times,
But
and you
we
have
ain't been
told me,
on in a
you
while,
said
and some people
yourself.
might need to be
But
reminded.
remember, you told
I'm
me, you
helping
said
you.
it is my job to bring the information, but
Yes,
it's
you're
not
right. We
my
did.
job
Well,
to
that was in
see
a
how
private
they accept
conversation,
it.
but it was a
Right. No, we
private
weren't
conversation.
live. We were live on air. It was just late at night. We had been talking for so long, y'all didn't realize we had been talking for that long. And you said, it is me, I can bring the information, but it's
Yes.
not my job to make people accept it. And that's what I
Yeah.
do. I'm bringing the information.
Yeah,
And
you
if they
can't make
still
them
want to
accept it.
keep it right, they want to keep their
Yeah,
mind
you can.
closed, then they just keep their mind closed. It's just is it is what it is. But it's not going to stop me from telling folks what's going on and helping at least one more person to open their eyes.
You can lead them to the water, baby girl. That's all you can do.
Yeah, and that's
You
what I
can't make
said.
them drink.
You can't make them, but if you can give somebody some information, because there are some people that as soon as you tell them something, they go do the research on their own.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
the goal. That's the
And
goal.
guess what?
You know,
Based off of what you said, somebody gonna go do some research. So your job
that's,
is done.
that's what I
Or
said.
not done, but you have fulfilled a portion of your job as far as educating and enlightening folks.
You spiked the tea.
Boom! Go ahead, girl. Look
Yeah,
at that. You see that? Look.
that's
Oh,
right.
you see how it all came full circle?
That's right. That's right. But I got a few more spikings before we go into the living room.
Wait,
What
you said
time is it?
spankings or spikings? You said spikings or
Spike.
spankings?
Spikings.
Oh,
Spikings, but
okay.
spankings for whoever wants to come and fight with me. Whoever wants to battle with me. All right. Ah, Netflix, y'all. Netflix. The title here. Ouch! Netflix loses over $50 billion after announcing subscription losses and price increases. I think they're
Mm.
getting ready to have a little bit of trouble with Netflix over there.
Oh,
Netflix announced. Huh?
go do
Okay,
your
they
do your broadcast, girl. Go do your thing.
okay. Netflix announced on Tuesday, April 19th, that it had lost an exponential number of subscribers, partly because of the ongoing war in Ukraine. And now, after the streamer announced his plans to charge more money from people who engage in sharing their accounts outside of their household, Netflix shares have plummeted to record low numbers. So, after a decade of incredible growth, Netflix has reached what is likely the lowest point. The company's stock is already down
It
more
ain't
than 40%.
it ain't got
You
nothing. I'm
know,
gonna tell you right now. It ain't got
okay,
nothing to do with people sharing accounts. You wanna know why? Because people been sharing accounts since the first
forever.
time they was able for whatever.
What's your
Yo,
reason? I got a reason. What's your reason?
I'm gonna just for me personally,
Uh huh.
everybody got hip to your shit. Like, when people tell you, like, if somebody come out, I don't know, with a glass making business, and then somebody else be like, well, hell, I can make glasses too, and I'm gonna put MR on it, mind right, Mr. Mind Right, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Uh huh.
I can make you can't stop me from making glasses. I'm gonna put this tag on it, and that tag is gonna be popular, and people gonna want
Right.
it. That's all people did. Peacock, Hulu, Strango, Fango, and
Paramount
all this other
Plus.
shit, and all
Mhm.
these other apps.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
you you created something. Everybody else did it, and all they did was the drug game. I'm gonna give you
Right.
the same product or more product for a cheaper price.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna
Right.
give you this, that, and the other. And then I'm gonna partner up with my partner because we done created a co-op. You know
Uh
what I'm
huh.
saying? And hey, if somebody get a business with me, and I tell them that they can get access to your stuff, I'm gonna give you a portion of the proceeds. You down with that? Hell yeah. We all make money. And somebody's just pimped your game. Step your game up. Switch it up. Shit.
Right.
Ain't nobody
Right.
Ukraine ain't did shit to you. The gas price is still up. Man, I just paid $4.25 for some gas. It was $3.75 last time I filled my tank up. What the hell did happen?
Right.
Inflation.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no inflation. We're gonna talk about that in the
I told my homeboy a long time ago, if you want to know what's going on in America, look at the gas prices. Look at the gas pumps.
I'm gonna lay that out for you too. And people, now that's what pisses me off. And I'm gonna go off of the living room because I'm sick of people making excuses for dumb shit. It's in here. Oh no, that ain't what it is. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving because I'm gonna tear some stuff up in a little while. Let me be good. Good.
Anyway, yeah, I told my partner a long time ago. I said, if you want to know what's going on with America, you watch the gas pumps. Just look at the gas pump. That's gonna tell you where we at with foreign policy and foreign trade. That's what the hell that's gonna do. That's what that's gonna tell you.
Is that it? Is that right?
Oh, hey, I tell you what. Think I'm lying? Watch the pump and see what happens. Watch the pump, then.
I got more to say on that. On that.
Go ahead.
What we're gonna talk about now, we're gonna talk about it in the living room because it goes
all right.
A little bit better with the living room thing of what I want to talk about over there.
Yeah.
I think about Netflix, and I don't know if this has any bearing, but it seems like they've gone a little far. There were some complaints about the type of content that they were putting out, like the show with the young girls and everything. And so I think some people got pissed off at some of the things that they were doing too. So that could be it as well. Who knows?
Hey, man. Now, I don't know. Now, I don't even think people even watch Netflix or all them other apps no more because people got videos on thing. People watch podcasts. People got other websites that they look at.
Hulu.
With technology now, you get access to a site. People, I mean, come on, man. It's like it's all kind of new shit out there.
Right.
You know
and so I think that's it. But I think that before all that started coming out, I think Netflix started showing themselves to people, and people were very up in arms that they were taking no responsibility for what they were putting out there, especially dealing with those young girls. There was a specific show, I don't remember the name of it, and the little girls were scantily dressed, and it was some stuff that people were just like, are you serious? You're going to put this out? And I think some consequences, people started seeing them as that type of a network too. So who knows what the full thing is, but I know that is an issue. I actually, don't do that. No, don't do that. Okay. I almost messed up clicking on all my articles at one time and could have lost them. Yes. Okay, here is a very interesting article. Oh boy, this one's going to open up a can of worms, but not for me.
Well, I tell you one damn thing, Vince. I'm gonna open up a can of whoop ass on all of your candy asses. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You got The Rock, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Come on, man.
Well, I'm like this. I am in favor of this right here. Everybody knows that Elon Musk is buying Twitter. What has gone out here, and this article is from CBSNews.com. After Elon Musk bought Twitter, some stars said they'd leave the platform and others vowed to come back. Now, I find this particularly funny as these people have gotten up in arms about this purchase of this platform. Elon Musk's effort to buy Twitter for $44 million yielded fruit this week and the Tesla head reveals plans to turn the company into a free speech. The acquisition from the richest man in the world has been polarizing, with some high profile figures weighing in. Now, some stars vowed to leave the platform, believing that Musk will lessen the current community guidelines, allowing hateful comments on their feeds. Some people who have violated the community guidelines in the past hope for a new opportunity on the app, and some are staying for different reasons. So, what I found funny, and I'm just going to give overall thing. I'm looking at this one girl, Jamila Jamil. She is really up in arms. She is upset about her whole situation. She has 1 million followers, and she is saying that's probably her last tweet that she did this week. And she says, he got Twitter. I would like this to be my what lies here as my last tweet, just really any excuse to show pics of Beryl, her dog. And she's sharing photos of herself and her dog, and she's just kind of going into this whole thing. And what's so funny is that she says, I fear this free speech bid is going to help this hell platform reach its final form of total lawless hate, bigotry, and misogyny. Best of luck. So what I find that funny is, okay, I'm gonna go on before I even give my view of what's going on here.
Mhm.
Um, there were some other folks. Activist Sean King left Twitter when Musk acquired the company, but hours later came back, and his bio reads, "I'm still here, mother effer." Why? Why was that necessary? It says, since rejoining the platform, King has used it to campaign against Musk, sharing past reports of racism and toxic work environment at Tesla, one of Musk's companies. And so I'm watching these folks. Let me go down to another one here. I mean, it's just different people and their different uh, things. Some of the people I want to bring up. But on the other side of the gate, now here's how they tried to spin it. They're trying to say it is going to go towards white supremacy and racism and all this other stuff. But look at the people who are coming back to Twitter. Azalea Banks, who was banned from
Mhm.
Twitter, she took to her Instagram and announced that she would be returning. She shared a screenshot of her Twitter profile, and on her last Instagram story, she asked Musk to please. She said, "Please don't f this up." Is what she said to Elon Musk. And she was suspended from Twitter multiple times, and then permanently in 2020. So we're going to go down. I think she's even had battles with Musk himself. Ice Cube. Ice Cube said, "Free at last." At Elon Musk, take off my shadow ban, homie, because they shadow banned him. You had
Wow.
uh, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker is like, we're back. Just different people. So that narrative of saying the racial thing, you have black and white people who were put off Twitter. But when it comes to that whole team over there, and I have to call them these liberal woke fake ass people, they always spin the same narrative. What do y'all think?
Mm. Well, I don't know, cause I don't get on Twitter that much.
I don't either.
So I don't get on
I
Twitter.
don't either, but I keep up. I keep up a little bit and I read other people's stuff, but I'm not a tweeter. I'll just kind of like check on what other folks are doing, but it's not my personal
It's not a
platform that I
big
do it
deal for
on.
me.
Man, Twitter get your ass caught up. You leave that shit alone. You fuck around and get the drinking or whatever you partake in for extracurricular activities, and then you get to expressing yourself, and then years later that shit come back to bite you in your ass. Leave that shit
It's
alone. You know what I'm saying? You know,
mhm,
uh,
right.
I get up there every night and somebody send me something and go like a video or something. I'll go up there and see the video, and then I keep it moving. I don't be on Twitter like that. So it really don't matter to me what they do on Twitter.
Hey, because with your thoughts and your views and your public opinion about something, come back and bite you in the ass later on. So just
Yeah, a lot of people have
you know,
definitely dealt with that
yeah,
because
yeah.
they've made some comments that were just out there and they came back.
Yeah.
But it's not about that I'm really talking about. I'm just saying in general, kind of how you all feel about that whole situation just overall.
Don't know. It might, if people have the entrepreneurial mindset, you know what I'm saying, and Elon Musk is doing something, I mean, maybe he'll get everybody, stock in Twitter or something, you know what I'm saying? And maybe Twitter will boom and maybe everybody become millionaires or something. Maybe he got a plot or a plan or something. Don't know. Because I've
Right.
always said this here. I get it. Nobody wants to give free handouts. I totally get it. But we got enough millionaires, billionaires, right? If you look at the billionaires and trillionaires in the country and how many we got, and you look at how many people that's in America, somebody that's a trillionaire has enough money to give everybody in America $1 million. But I mean, ain't nobody gonna do that. I mean, if you talking about you want a tax write-off, give everybody in America $1 million and see what they do with it. You know what I'm saying? Level the
Right.
playing field. But I mean,
Mhm.
hey, I guess the top 1% stay the top 1%. The rich get richer, the poor get poor, and so on and so forth. Hey, however that works. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave it at that. You see?
That's fine. Yeah, I just
You know
kind of
what
was thinking along the lines. For me, I can't really say whether how that whole thing is going to turn out. I think it is a good thing from a standpoint that I think that Jack Dorsey was not a good owner because Jack Dorsey was on that other team of the Peds. And I don't think anybody in that position needs to be heading up any type of platform because there was a time that before we caught on as a people, they were using Twitter and Instagram to put their code words out there about the children that they were acquiring. And there's a lot of little codes that they used to put out there. And folks just didn't understand it. But once folks started understanding what it was, they snatched it down. And of course, still they have other ways, whether they're doing a direct message or whatever. So those platforms were used in very, very dirty ways. And so I'm glad that Jack Dorsey no longer has that platform. I just didn't think that it was a good thing what they were doing to kids. So, all right.
Yeah, there
I'm
was some
about
things
tired
up
of
there.
y'all.
There was some things.
Yeah.
It was some things up there that weren't appropriate. I mean,
Yeah. Hella, yeah. But y'all are dragging the ground. So I'll tell you what, we're getting out of this tea. And we are going
No,
to
we ain't
take a
dragging the
break.
ground. Look, we
Yeah,
ain't
you're
dragging the
dragging the
ground.
ground. Yeah.
It's just one of them things where if somebody buying somebody else out, I mean, that's just the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? You take out your competition. I mean, I don't know what he was competing against. If you're the richest man in the world, what the hell Twitter doing to you? What you need Twitter for? But if you need a platform, hell, he had enough money to
Platform.
make his own damn platform.
But it was a matter of taking that platform away from the dirty. I could say it a lot worse.
You said from the dirty.
Yes,
So is he considered a
because
good guy?
Jack Dorsey was complete dirt. Elon,
butthole.
the verdict is not on for me personally. Um, I'm still watching Elon. I'm still watching him, but he won't do what Jack Dorsey was doing. So I'm giving him a bit of a chance. All right. Well, I tell you what, I
All
am
right.
done with the tea and I'm ready to take a break so we can go to the living room. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Hey, we're back to our Imitates Life, and y'all, welcome to the living room. Okay, I'm gonna try to be good here tonight. I'm trying to be good, but tonight's topic it is
Pretty far.
reality check. It is time to do a reality check right now. Can you see that the world is changing? And the reason why I'm asking this too is because you ask some people this question, and some people will go into a darkness about all these dark things that are happening, and that we're going to the end of the world, you know. But then some people can see that things are changing for the better. There is a lot of disclosure, there's a lot of exposure, there's a lot of things that people should be learning right now,
Look at
you
Tanya
know.
dropping bars. Look at Tanya dropping bars. You know what I'm saying?
It's a time now where it's almost disclosure is happening every single day now. And if people are not
Disclosure,
getting
exposure,
is every
bars.
day. And so if
Hmm.
people are not seeing that, that's something where we have to awaken the population to, that folks have always asked for us to do better, and we are getting better. You know, the world is, because there is a transition that's on the way, that is every day we're speeding up to it, just like we are picking up speed every day, like a snowball heading towards this transition. And you have to want to see that part, and you have to want to see that it's going to be good. So first of all, let me just get you all thoughts just in general. Do can you see that the world is changing just in general before we get digging deep here?
Well, in the words of Aristotle, I believe, the only constant in life is change.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Gotcha.
what I'm saying? That is, that's the only
Gotcha.
constant in life is change. Uh, so, I mean, what is today may not necessarily be tomorrow, or what is today
Right.
may be the same thing tomorrow with a twist. I mean, like, it's like you can play with change, all day, every day.
Hmm.
Because what is may not be, and what may not be may actually be what is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like we can play with that, you
Uh-huh.
know. But I will say this. I have seen that, we make fun of, we have made fun of, you know, uh, where we, black folks stood at one point in time, and all you ever
Hmm.
heard was, so it was Sam Cooke's, change gonna come. I believe that's Sam Cooke.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A change
Right.
gonna come, and people be like, "Well, we keep on singing the same old song, and the change gonna come, and the change gonna come." I mean, if you don't see progress, it
Mm-hmm.
has
Right.
been a long time, but if you don't see the progress and the awakening of a people, and
Right.
the people talk about it. I believe they call it now in the IT world. They call it the IoT, the Internet of Things. And
Hmm.
with the Internet of Things, people are able to do so much more. You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
internet has been a blessing. It's been a gift and a
Okay.
Hmm.
curse. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And with the Internet of
Right.
Things, the access to information, when they say it's an information age, the access of information has been, bewildering. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It has allowed people to uh, gain information, have access to information, and it has given thousands and
Hmm.
millions of people a platform to share that
Hmm.
information, to lead
Right.
people to water with the hopes that they may drink. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead on,
Right.
Real Mike.
Hey, now you drink if you want to. You drink if you thirsty. Huh? If you thirsty,
I
you'll
got
drink.
you.
You'll take a sip.
And
You know what I
some
mean?
of them will be
Sometimes,
dying of thirst, but they will not drink.
you know what I'm saying?
They'll
Because
be dying of thirst.
they feel the water is tainted. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? But look here, I'm gonna tell you just like this here. For example, and this is no knock to our bordering friends, but we all have heard the stories that you go to Mexico, don't drink the water.
Right.
If your ass thirsty enough and water is the element which brings life, your ass gonna drink some tainted water. You'll drink bacteria infested water. You will suffer whatever your gut and intestines will go through, but at least your ass have water.
Yeah.
You see
Kept
what I'm
from
saying?
dehydrating. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I
However it
got you.
works, right? So you lead somebody to water. It's up to them to sip of that water, depending on their analysis of that water, whether it's clean, dirty, impartial, or impure, or whatever they want it to be. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
Huh?
I got you.
Huh?
I
well,
got
Come
you.
on now. So
But
the world is changing.
okay.
You lead them there with your information. You
mm-hmm.
tell them, hey, these people on the list. What you gonna do with that information?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hey, this is this. Hey, the world is changing. Hey, this is this now. Hey, this is this. Hey, you want to be 3D, 4D, or 5D?
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave that where it's at. We'll leave that where it's at. That's
We're already
deep.
4D.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying?
If I
But
tell you how 4D, then everybody will trip out. So
I mean, from my
I'll leave that
understanding,
alone.
4D is supposed to be the element of time, but element of time, well, a lot of people say they don't even exist. But we'll leave that where that's at.
4D
You
is
know,
that we're 4D. We're hard holograms into 3D over here. So it's a lot with that. But people just can't conceptualize if they don't
yeah.
conceptualize the D's at all. So to say
So
something like that is too far. Too far.
I just look at it as when you say that the world is changing, the world is changing.
Yeah.
It is. Depending on where you stand, your beliefs and your views, it's changing for the good or it's changing for the worse. It's changing for the bad.
I have a question though.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is where it goes into, like you all were talking about, gas prices and all kinds of things like that. There's an acceptance that people have of whatever political party or political figure in which they are favoring, that they tend to not look at the individual and what the individual is doing. They look at it as a sports team. Like, oh, I like the Dallas Cowboys. I like the, Pittsburgh Steelers. I like, Green Bay, whatever. They tend to look at it like that, and they just have a blanket favoritism for the team, but they no longer look at what the person does. Now,
So
when
let
this
me
person,
help you with that analogy, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
May I?
Sure.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. So I like your analogy when you say that, because watch this.
Mhm.
See, and this is how politics and everything works. See, I will present you with a team.
Mhm.
I will present you with an all-star quarterback, an all-star
Yeah.
running back, an all-star wide receiver. I will give you the best the offensive linemen, the defensive linemen, the cornerbacks and safeties. I will give you that.
Right.
Because that's what I want you to see. I want you to see what's on the field. I don't need you looking into the press box. Come on now. Who's sitting in the press box? The GM, the owners. You know what I'm saying? The people who really pull the
Yes.
strings and make the
Yes.
decisions.
Yes.
Now, you switch that
Because
sports
people
team
do
to
not
politics.
understand.
You switch that
Right.
sports team to politics. You have a quarterback, you have a president, you have a vice president, you have a
Mhm.
running back, you have a whatever, but you have the general managers and the supporting staff that's sitting somewhere that they say,
Making them decisions.
But the thing is, what folks don't seem to realize, that the same decisions that are made over the
Look at them.
politics.
They finna take us down. They taking us down. That boy
I
making
know,
too
right?
much sense. Give us the circle of
But
death.
listen, but the same decisions that are being made in politics are being made in places like football, because football is an organization owned by Skull and Bones. Ain't nothing authentic about it. They already know who's going to win the whole conferences, everything. They know who's going to win the Super Bowl. Everything is already decided from the very beginning of the season. Ain't nothing authentic about it. We just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So to me,
People need
it's
something to
pretty much
occupy. Hey, people need something
right.
to
It's a
occupy their tainted brain.
and they do it on purpose, right? Because they want us to be occupied. But let me jump over here back to this political thing, and I say people decide who their team is, and when they decide who their team is, they ignore the plays of the quarterback. They ignore the things that they do, like we all talk about fuel and everything.
Ooh.
When that person first took over as the CEO of the corporation, USA Corporation, not the president of the United States, as the USA Corporation, you'll find out what I mean over time here. You'll find out. So when that person took over as the CEO of USA Incorporated, that person stopped the pipeline. The pipeline, remember, stop the pipeline. What happened to gas? What happened to gas? What happened to gas?
It went up.
And people pretend like they don't see it, because why? Their favorite quarterback is in play.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can see what the hell the gas did, because shit, like I told you, I paid $3.75 the last time I filled up my tank, and
But
now
what
it's
did I
$4.20.
say? When your favorite quarterback is in play, you act like you don't see things. But if it's
I
a
don't give a
team
damn
that you
who the
don't
president
like,
is.
but I'm
425 is too
saying,
much. They're too
you're
damn much
right,
for gas.
absolutely. You're
Like,
absolutely right. But it was not like that on the last team.
hey, now, because I'm gonna tell you, me personally, it could be Biden, it could be Trump, it could be Obama, it could be
But
JFK.
it was
Motherfucker,
not a
425
mistake.
is 425. That's too much,
What I'm
too
trying
much
to tell
damn
you,
money for
it
gas.
was not a mistake. It was not a mistake. And if you think for 1 minute that those people are not trying to get you to that, look at my finger, that want world order. If you're not looking close enough to see that, how come took all those people off the borders? What happened with all that? Took all the security off the borders, just letting people in, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of things happening to our cities. All these things started happening. But because people are looking at their favorite team quarterback, they act like they don't see none of it.
So let me help you out with that.
Mm-hmm.
For the skeleton crew that's here right now, and for the people that may be watching, I have said it since I was a kid. Don't ask me how or why. I knew what I knew, but I've always said Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
tells you that it's make believe, but they will tell you that something is based on a true story or based on true events, and then hit you with some of the things. And if you watch certain movies, TV shows, or programs, they will introduce to you a concept, and then shortly thereafter, that concept becomes something of the
Reality.
real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've always questioned and asked that, because why would you tell me something is make believe? And when I'm looking at something that you say is make believe, it exists in real life. And why am I seeing this?
Right. They tell us,
Now,
okay, let me tell you, they have to tell us the truth on everything. That's why
I
there's
know
movies
this.
and
You want
shows,
to know
and they put
why?
it all out there.
Because
Mm-hmm.
every 50 to 60 years, something is declassified. 50 or 60
Mm-hmm.
years gives that generation or second generation time to die off. Those people are no more longer alive,
Mm-hmm.
so there are no more witnesses.
Right.
Now,
You need to stop.
Hey, we're here. Now, people believe what they want to believe. There has been counterintelligence that tells you that some things may be true or heaven sent, but I will tell you, my people, that everything that you see, hear, or say may not necessarily be equal. Oh, y'all not ready for this today. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for you to come back and talk to this about this subject, and you dancing around what I'm saying on that quarterback.
Hey, I'm not dancing
dancing.
around. You know, I'm not dancing around. We are just putting it down, and we are doing what we always do, because you have sight, smell, taste, and sound. You hear what you want to hear, you see what you want to see, and if you have a third
It's not.
eye or a mind, then you believe what you want to
No,
believe.
there's some things.
Come on,
Some
now,
things are
y'all
just
are not
factual.
ready.
Some things are just factual, and what people do, they change the narrative in their own mind to make themselves feel better.
I'm telling you, I'm trying
Let's
to tell
just
you.
let that have some hang time. People will
Yeah,
tell
like what
themselves
they say,
things.
let that marinate for a little bit.
Yeah, let them marinate, because people will tell themselves stuff in their own mind to make themselves feel better when they're looking at things all along. If we're looking
Yeah.
at the things that are changing right now, has anybody noticed that there's a lot of dissension that's being brought up between the quarterback and the co-quarterback?
Well,
From off
I
each
mean,
team.
no, I
I'm
mean,
not
now
talking about,
the
talking about the
question
president and the
is,
vice president.
see, that's the thing. See, when she
Mhm.
says she's talking about the president and the vice president, my question to you would be, which president? Oh, hold on, get back, Jack.
I'm
Y'all
talking
ain't ready.
about I'm talking about the fake one,
No,
the
no,
one who is the president of
I
the
know what
corporation.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
But when
I'm,
you say the president and the quarterback and the backup quarterback or the
mhm.
whatever, and then you say this, that, and the other, and you say the president and the vice president, and I will ask you I'll ask you the same question: which president?
The fake one.
No. See,
I get.
it's
I
deep,
can say it
man.
very
It's
easily.
fucking
Yeah, I
deep.
know what
It's
you're saying,
fucking
but
deep.
I can say it very quickly, very easily, and with a straight face. Because to me, I think it's a joke, and I think that's what we're getting ready to see. They are on a weekly basis. I am noticing, like I'm gonna read to you just the titles of two articles
I'm
from
gonna sit my
NEWSBREAK.
ass down before I flag myself.
Okay, fury at manipulative Vice President Kamala Harris for portraying Joe Biden as the White House version of Weekend at Bernie's. Now, this is an article that's being put out there. This stuff is being put out there every single week. Here's another one. Biden shut down Harris in meeting and took GOP senators aback. And there's also a situation where I read recently where Jill Biden wrote in her book that she didn't even want Kamala Harris as a choice to be a vice president. Why all of a sudden are these people showing all of this dissension and it's coming out every week? Could it be that at the transition there's going to be a fall apart? I mean, I know there is, but
I mean, not
it's also.
everybody knows what you know.
Mhm.
Uh, but when I asked
These
that
people are
question,
already, but I'm just
when
being
I asked
honest,
that
these people are
question,
already gone.
right?
They're already
You
gone.
gave that analogy of quarterback
Hmm.
and people rooting for their team, and I ask you, and I say that question. The question was, which president? I mean, like, do you have
Hmm.
the president? Is the current president the president, or the past president is the president, or the president before the last president, who was the vice president, who is now the president? So is now the old president the pretty much the still existing president? I mean, like, come on, like, there's questions to be
Come on,
asked here.
come on now, Michael. You know that 45 is still president.
I'm just saying,
Don't play with me. You know that's still the
I'm just,
president. You know
I
that that
just know.
whole thing was a
Now,
farce and a lie.
now we just sat here and talked about presenting people with a team.
Right.
Is the president considered the team? And then you still have general
Let me just
management?
say it this way so that I can explain it to people in a way that they can understand it in real terms.
Let me hit
Um,
you with something. Let me hit you with something.
No, let me tell you this real quick. This
Go
this
ahead,
is
go ahead, go
real
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
information that people need to know.
Yeah, go
When
ahead.
they took over this country years ago and they decided to take this country from being a republic and covering it with a corporation. This was probably around, well, I'll say, what was that? What year was that? Oh gosh, I forget, 1685. I can't remember what year it was now. But when they took it away from being a republic, eventually these cats came along with this corporation so that they could run this country. And we know the dark ones who did this. And they created the USA Incorporated. They domiciled it over in Puerto Rico. And under that, they had all their organizations from their private company called the Federal Reserve, which I told you all this before, the private company called the IRS. These are not federal companies. Homeland Security, NASA, all these private companies that they had under the umbrella of the USA Incorporated. Okay, that corporation has been defunct now for years and officially taken out now. That corporation no longer exists. So they hired a person into being this president as this officer, CEO of this corporation that no longer exists. That person has been gone for some time now. I have showed you all the pictures of the two Joe Biden's. People will let their eyes tell their brain that something else is going on. I've already showed the picture a million times. That's not a real person. I've said it time and time again. But they're going to bring up all this dissension in that administration because when it falls, they want to show you some reasons for the folks who have not paid attention why the whole thing failed. Of course, it's going to be everything dealing with Joe's son Hunter. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff, all the crimes, humanity, everything. But it's been something's been happening for a long time. I chose to use it and talk about the teams and everything because I wanted to show people how people will constantly turn their heads to a favorite team and stop looking at what the person is actually doing. That's the reason why I did that. But what were you going to say, Mike?
I am trying to find um girl, I had a whole thing about what you was talking about here. Um
Mm-hmm.
but for whatever reason, I can't find exactly uh I had a man look here. One of my days I was in my poetry phase.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if I can do this poem.
Uh-huh.
But I will say this here. Lately I've been chilling, laying low, avoiding drama. They say, Mike, you can kill it. But see, I've been praying for this moment. I've been waiting for a challenge to unlock my potential. I'm unstable and unbalanced, two Glocks and a nine pistol. I see these youngsters out here acting, plotting, trying to win an Oscar. All the stunting and the capping, like popping Chris, will make them popular. You see, Jimi Hendrix was a rock star, MJ was a thriller, Bob Marley was a god, and Prince Rogers, he had no filter. Now, if you look at how they died, to me, it all seems familiar. See, I am no fool to crooked lies, man. Them white folks killed them. Hold on. Now, and they out here killing us, and see, the cops is killing us, so there is no one to trust. So why are we out here killing us? Man, let me ease up. You see, the brain crams and seizes up. See, the all-seeing eye is 33 degrees up. Everybody ain't loyal. The game will chew you up. See, it will spit you out and ignore you. See, this life is so screwed up. Y'all are not ready for what the hell I'm telling y'all right now. I am going to leave that where it is. I am going to leave that where it is. I am going to
Somebody not
leave
ready.
where that to leave that where it is. Anyway,
Somebody
um,
not ready. I mean, I look at it this way. Um, there's an awakening that's there. I speak in a lot of information that I've learned over time, that I've studied over time. People don't always accept it very well, but it'll come out. I'm very sure, with this whole transition, a lot will come out. And a lot will come out on the everyday situations too of what is going on. Just like this thing. Okay, what is you all's interpretation of what's happening with the food and the food prices?
I will tell you now, food ain't food no more. And remember, I told you I had an extra sensitive nose and taste buds.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you right now, oranges ain't oranges, fruit ain't
Mm-hmm.
fruit, eggs ain't eggs, meat ain't meat. I can tell you, I know what food used to taste like in the 80s, and I can tell you what food tastes like now in 2022.
It's changing
It
a
is
lot.
it is not the fucking same.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. I have a sensitive nose. I can smell food now and tell you that it is 10 times different from what it was back in the 80s. I can tell you right now, pops ain't pops and honeycomb ain't honeycomb. Goddamn golden
Mm-hmm.
crisp and honey smacks ain't the same. I'm telling you now that back in the day when you ate back in the day when you ate smacks and golden crisp, you could smell it in your piss. Eat it today, you don't smell a goddamn thing.
That's
Now
because they're putting so much mess in it.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but I can tell you that it ain't
GMO,
the same.
genetically
Whether it,
modified on so many things, and so much on the processing. They have done so much to the food to mass produce it, but also to, well, they want to control the population.
so I will tell you
It's,
this.
mhm,
I used to go to the store and get a orange,
mhm,
a lemon, tangerines,
mhm.
and I would have to spit out fucking seeds just to enjoy them. My fruit ain't got no damn seeds in it.
Right.
I can't take my oranges and my orange seeds or my tangerines and my tangerine seeds. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
can't take my fruit and take my seeds and
They have,
spit them out, dry
yeah.
them out, put them in a wet napkin, wrap them in the wet napkin, put them inside of a Ziploc bag, and let them what is it, germinate, whatever the fuck it is start with a
Hmm.
G, so they can sprout, and then take those same seeds and throw them everybody's mama had that one big ass plant,
Right. Yeah.
that big ass pot
Mm-hmm.
with the dirt in it. And you could throw regular
Right.
seeds in there, and in about a month or two, it all kind of shit start growing in that damn pot. You hear me?
Right.
I can't do that no more.
Right.
Cause don't none of my fruit got seeds in it no more.
Okay. Yeah,
Huh?
it's to me, there's a total change in what's happening. Why do you all think? What is your interpretation as to why there is a shortage of food?
What you mean? Where's the shortage of food? I don't know. I
Well,
go
in the
to the
news is claiming it's no drivers to deliver the food. That was the last I heard. There was no drivers deliver to the grocery stores, restaurants, and so forth. But I don't think that's the reason why.
Miss Lady V. I will ask
I
you
think
this
it's something
question.
else.
Miss Lady V. I will ask you this question. In certain parts of the country, people was getting in trouble for growing their own damn food in their backyard.
Hmm.
Why in the
Yeah.
hell would you get in trouble for growing food in your backyard when the foundations of America was to get a plot of land and toil and till your sand? Come on now, y'all better get
Right.
on. Y'all not
Yes.
hearing me.
Do yep.
I
Y'all
hear
not
you. 'Cause
hearing
Oh, I
me.
the
hear
people
you.
stay
Like,
three
let me tell you, it's do.
houses down. The people that stay three houses
Uh
down
huh.
from where I stay at, the only thing they
Uh
don't
huh.
have over there is a cow. They got everything else in their yard. The only thing they don't have is a cow. and a pig. Everything
They
else they
got
got
cows
it.
across the street from me.
So
I
Don,
love
I've been
it. They got
I eat on their eggs. I go down there and ask for a
right,
carton of eggs every now and then because
Hmm.
I can eat
right,
yard eggs. I don't have no problem with eating yard eggs.
Me neither.
right.
I used to have
Yeah.
fun having to go out there and go get the damn eggs, and
Me
the
too.
goddamn hens are plucked and tuck the shit out your ass when you try to go out there and get them.
Because I been scared asses off of it. That's why I said, don't mess with me.
And we be done took our
Speaking
run.
of which,
Look, we in
speaking of
there
which,
trying
have
to
y'all
get some
seen?
eggs from up under them hens like this here.
Have y'all
Hey,
seen those real furry chickens that they have people keep as pets? And
I
they're
don't
like
like
no.
them. I'm
super
scared of
furry.
them.
They're
I'm
cute to
scared of
me. They're
them.
super furry.
I'm scared of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll say
Tanya,
this. Yeah.
I got a question. Just throw us off for a minute. Can you
Uh-huh.
tell me one thing right quick?
Sure.
What does AIDS mean?
Eight, you said?
Uh-huh. If I keep seeing
Eight.
eights, what that mean?
Eight.
Oh, eight. The number eight. You know something?
I
I
don't
I
know.
don't
Are you
know in a
seeing
sense
eight or
of
you seeing
when,
infinity signs?
but I'll tell you, it could be in infinity. But I know the number eight in the Chinese culture is a very lucky number. That is their one of their most lucky numbers in the Chinese culture. So maybe it's eight or maybe it's infinity. So
Infinity is eternal, baby. That's a spiritual thing.
yeah.
It is a continuation of life itself. It is something that has no beginning and has no end. So
Okay.
if you look at the number eight or you look at infinity, depending on which way you turn it, because it's all about vision. Um, Energy. I forgot who said it, and I don't want to misquote, so y'all help me out. But energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is a continuous thing.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hey
Protons,
Veronica.
neutrons, and
Now let's go
electrons.
back.
Hey,
Energy
Veronica,
is
Veronica, have you noticed that tonight he's talking like this and everything he
hey,
said?
what I told y'all. What I told y'all. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. Since my episode, uh since my
Experience.
since my
Uh-huh,
exposure, right?
uh-huh.
Things have become clear. I've been waking up at 3:33. Now in 2020, I was waking up at 3:33 every night. Then I
Right.
started getting regular rest, regular sleep, and everything else. But for some reason, I've been seeing 11:11,
Yep.
3:33. I've been seeing numbers and signs and symbols and everything else. I have been sleep, dead in my sleep. I have awakened with songs in my mind, and I put them on paper. I put them on my notepad. I have
Mhm.
songs, I have quotes, I have visions, I have all types of things that have come to me in my sleep, in my dreams, and everything else.
Mhm.
And I know they have value.
Mhm.
I have not even begun to speak my truth. I have not even begun to speak the way that I need to speak because we all know that my mentor was Martin Luther King himself. Y'all ain't ready. But
No, I'm
I'm gonna
not
sit
ready.
my ass down before I flag myself.
But you know something? I have to I have to ask you, with that as Martin Luther King as your mentor, what would you say if I said to you that that individual was a plant by the Rockefellers and Rothschilds? There was a plant in the community. What would you say?
You will not have shaken my
Hmm.
belief or my faith in the individual and his talent and his skills.
Hmm.
He was recruited. He was
He
recruited
was not.
because of the
You say
talent that
he
he
was
possessed.
a plant. There's a
You see what I'm
difference
saying?
between a recruitment and a plant. You
Nah,
know,
nah.
my thing is, I'm not going to take away
Here's the thing,
his.
Tanya. Here's the thing, and I'll
Mhm,
say this real quick because I
mhm,
understand what you're saying. I do. In order for someone to be a plant, they first must be a recruit. That motherfucker there got talent. He
Let
is
me just say
somebody
this: it's
I
not
need to
about.
have.
I'm not. But see, I'm
Go
not
ahead.
saying that there was no talent there. So don't get me wrong there. There was a
Mhm.
reason. Agree too. They knew that that individual could lead and
That's
that
what I'm saying.
others would follow. But I'm
Right.
saying there was also a purpose in doing so.
Right. Right.
And when his term was over, and I spoke about it on this show before, they took him out. Okay.
You served your
When the
purpose,
time
and you served
changed,
your purpose, and
right.
before you can, because remember, I hear you and I get
Mhm,
it, because remember,
mhm,
as long as he opposed his his villain counterpart, as long as they were in opposition, everything was fine. But there
mhm.
became a certain point where he was like, the next one of these motherfuckers hit me with a rock, I'm gonna beat this bitch ass, Jesse. I'm gonna beat this bitch ass. And he said,
Well,
Malcolm, you may got
well,
a point.
that's
Malcolm, you
who
may have
turned
a
on him.
point, and you may be right. Let's rediscuss these terms and see what the hell is going on.
But
Huh?
you know, his own team turned on him. His own
That's what
team.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
because
what I'm
my
saying.
understanding it was Jesse himself who changed the
Remember Dick,
location
remember
of his
Dick
rooms
Gregory.
several
Remember
times.
Dick Gregory exposed the Freudian slip.
He sure did. And
Dick
then
Gregory exposed
also,
the
that's
Freudian
why
slip.
I say to you, and that's why I said to you all on that 33rd stuff that y'all do, when they were raising them hands in the air, allegedly pointing at the shooter, they weren't raising no hands pointing at no shooter. They were doing them signs. Thank you, and she shall move on. And then when he was
Yeah,
at that doggone hospital, they made a decision to kill him. He was not dead.
yeah,
They
we
made a
know that.
decision to kill that man
That is why the King
because
family ended
his
up winning the lawsuits and the settlements and things of that nature.
yeah. So there was
Yeah.
a whole plant behind that situation.
There's a lot of things that go on in the intelligence community that we may be privy to or may not be privy to, or that may come out later on,
Mhm.
because every 50 to 60 years, things are
They'll come out.
declassified and shared with the public. Um, Now, they tell you that it's a conspiracy theory. And that's the one thing that keeps things in limbo, whether
What's
you
a
believe it
conspiracy
is true.
theory?
No, the conspiracy theory is a thing to keep things in limbo.
Conspiracy theory is a term that they made up when they killed Kennedy, when they allegedly killed
My
Kennedy.
point exactly, to keep
They
things in
yes,
limbo.
they
I'm
actually
not arguing
created
with
that
you.
term.
I'm
Yeah, but I'm
telling
saying
you.
I'm just letting people know for their own edification. They created that term as opposed to so that people will have something whenever folks come up with some ideologies that they could say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Because they never wanted you to think for yourself. They never wanted you to have ideas, any type of ideology at all.
Look
They
here.
dismissed it.
Yeah. Now,
Tanya,
we,
Yeah.
go to the chat. Did y'all
uh-oh.
go to the chat?
Uh,
I will go to the chat. I think I'm in there. Let me see who said something. Who said something? Who had something to say?
Jimmy's there. Jimmy was in there earlier, so I mean,
He
he's
was. And guess what?
a
Since
while
I
back.
have an open, let me tell you what's going on. We already heard what Jimmy was talking about. Get on the stage and do a comedy set. I'm ready. I ain't scared.
okay.
I'm ready. Trust me, I'm ready. I'm ready. Hey, look here. I was born ready. I was born ready, and my coat is heavy. And everything that I do, I'm gonna hold it steady. Now I can talk
Okay.
like this here and I can talk like that there, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I get out there and I'll wrestle with a bear. I'll wrestle
I'm
with
sure.
a chicken for the right
And
price.
y'all tonight, and Tanya.
Huh? Like, I'm
Uh,
messing with y'all. I'm done.
Y'all tonight, and
yeah.
Tanya.
Yeah.
No,
I
let me
do.
stop.
I
Let
do
me
believe in.
stop.
I
So
do
he was
believe in
talking about
taking turns.
comedy. So he was talking about comedy, and then we saw that Margo came on and said, "Hey, fam, I'm here. I'm just kind of supporting y'all." And then we was talking about Charles Barkley, and Jimmy came on. He said, "But the thing is, he was talking about basketball terms. You know, is is that really his fault?" And it's like, nah. Like I was telling y'all, it's not his fault because in his mind, he was speaking. Charles Barkley was speaking on basketball terms, and for him, it's like it's a sports show. We talking about basketball. How else could you take what I'm trying to say
But
unless
he
you
was
had
the funny
tainted
part
brain?
is that he was sitting there with a bunch of basketball players, and they just
Mhm.
thought it was funny. That was the whole thing. It was
Because they
just
all had tainted brain.
whatever, but it was just funny, you know.
You know, and it
Right.
So
is funny because
yeah,
we're guilty of it. We do it. We may not say it out loud, but we do it. Somebody may say something, and you be like, right? We get it. Like it
yeah.
happens. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because we nasty. That's that. Look, let's just be clear. We nasty. You know what I'm saying? That's just all it is. We nasty. It's just people are nasty. It's what they think about. And then I told and I kind of responded with that. I said I feel like it was a sports show, so sports terminology should have been understood, but a good chuckle shouldn't bring about disciplinary actions because we get it, or we
Mhm.
should get it.
Well, you know something? I want to go back to the food
Uh-oh.
that we are talking about the food
All
Mhm.
right, let's
now.
get back to the food.
And I was asking you all with reason, you know, about what it is that you feel this shortage was all about. Um, I'm going to just
Is
read
it
this
really a
here.
food shortage?
Yes.
Is it?
Grocery stores are not full at all. The grocery stores are
I have
empty.
really not answered that. You don't ever go to a
Oh,
store?
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Remember, I told y'all my fruit is different.
Uh huh.
Um, I told you my nose and my taste buds is off. So for me,
Right.
certain things don't smell or taste the same. And I'm telling you, my nose, I have a sensitive nose. My nose is a survival tool.
But
Nothing smells.
don't your eyes see them empty shelves in the grocery store?
Yeah, I
Or do
see
you?
yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's
But
Okay.
what it is.
what I'm saying is because my nose and my taste buds is off when it comes to that food that I'm trying to buy or get, and it don't taste the same, it don't smell the same. The texture, the taste, and everything that's in it is not the same. It is not appeasing to me. So me personally, um, I'm going with what I know to be true. I live in
Hmm.
I live where I live, and there's a lot of Amish people around here.
Hmm.
Amish people do natural, they do everything natural,
Right.
and they have their stores out here. So I shop at these Amish markets and I go get real food.
Okay. Well, let me
You
go
see what I'm
ahead and hit
saying?
you to a few things that are happening out here. Then
But I
this
go
is
and
an
get real food.
article.
So when you
Well, I'm
say
saying,
you
mhm.
haven't noticed the food shortage, I really don't because number one, my meat intake ain't what it used to be. There is meat there. I still barbecue and do what I do.
Mhm.
Um, but fruits and vegetables is more of my diet than it is you know, meat products and all of the other stuff that's out there. It's more of fruits and vegetables that I can get from my local community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I know the different variations and different types of protein I can get my source from.
I got you. But let me read the article that people are just not getting this. And this is some real shit here. I got to read this. This article is on Western Standard Online. No, Western Standard Online.com. It's exclusive. Food shortages magnified by a string of destroyed food processing facilities. Who hasn't been hearing about this? Okay. Food shortages have been exacerbated by a string of fires, plane crashes, and explosions at nearly 2 dozen food processing facilities across Canada and the US. The most recent happened on Thursday in Georgia when a small plane crashed shortly after takeoff into the General Mills plant just east of Atlanta. Two occupants on the plane were killed in the crash, and this was reported by the New York Post. A massive fire on Monday night destroyed parts of the Azure Standard headquarters in Oregon, a company that self describes as the USA's largest independent food distributor. The company said basically any liquid product such as honey, oil, vinegar will be out of stock due to the fire, reported by the Vision Times. The company also said it lost its fruit packaging, its care product facility in the blaze, but said the effects will be minimal as the harvesting season hasn't started yet. Last Thursday, firefighters contended with a massive blaze at Taylor Farms packaged salad plant in Salinas, California, a key agricultural region 177 kilometers south of San Francisco. The fire out late Wednesday night, reported by KTLA. The same day, an airplane crashed into Idaho's gem plant facility, processing facility. The plant said to process 18,000 acres worth of potatoes each year. The pilot of the plane did not survive. However, no employees were injured, reported by the Vision Times. On April 13th, firefighters from several departments in Maine helped a battle it helped to battle a massive fire that destroyed East Conway Beef and Pork Butcher Shop and Meat Market in Center Conway, New Hampshire. Investigators did not indicate what caused the fire, reported by the ABC affiliate WMTW in Portland, Maine. So you see where I'm going. They said about half a dozen of them. All these places are mysteriously burning, planes being crashed into them, all this going on. Are y'all still sleeping? Are you with me on this? Because you like to
I
sleep in the
ain't
middle of
about
my.
sleeping. I just sit here and told you, baby girl. My nose and told me that the food ain't right. Something ain't right.
Mm-mm. Okay, let me tell you. That ain't it. They're destroying the food to cause the shortage because it's to push you towards having the one world order. They're destroying their own plants and food. This has been going on for a while. They've been going to farmers and getting farmers to destroy the foods. This is not
Like
new, but
you
it's
notice
gone.
like more industrial plants and stuff is being built on the
Hmm.
land where they were growing their food.
Yeah.
Whether it's
You
it's
know, ain't you know who ain't finna destroy their food? Amish people.
no, they're not. But
I really wish you'd take a moment to be serious about this because everybody ain't
I
living
am.
amongst the Amish. Thank you. Everybody ain't living there amongst the Amish. And
But
that's that
it's
again. I
still a
got
whole lot
my.
of
That's what it sounded like you saying to me. I got my. What
No,
about the
what
rest
I'm
of the
saying
people
is,
here who are?
what I'm saying is, people that sit here and hold their differences, hold their prejudice, hold their whatever it is they want to hold against certain folk. In a world where they breed separation and division, you better get over
Mhm.
that bullshit and take your ass out there where these people is got the shit that you need. I remember being in the 80s,
They ain't got
raised
nothing
on
to
the
do with it.
farm. I remember being raised in the 80s, being raised on the farm, and we grew our own motherfucking food.
The key
People have
is to
not
go back.
people
Okay, let me ask you:
that,
how
no,
can
I'm
you go and grow
you
your own
I don't
food
know. It sounds
when
like
they're
you're trying to argue
destroying?
with me when I'm agreeing
No, let
with
me
you.
ask you. But I'm saying, how can you go and grow your own food when they're destroying the fertilizer also?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you know, but I know this.
I'm
Every
really trying to
season,
tell y'all they're doing this.
okay, they're doing it. Okay, they're doing it.
Hmm.
Right? They're doing it.
Hmm.
If they're doing it up north, then you take your ass down south and you fucking fertilize and you retoil and you soil and you regrow and you tilt your fucking land and
They
you
just
start
did it
over.
miles. They just did it miles from me right here in Georgia just this week. That's the
Right.
first thing I
Guess
mentioned
what?
in the
So
article. So it's up and down.
Right. So if you need a group of people, to do it, guess what? When they attack in Georgia, you take your goddamn ass to Iowa. Hey, Iowa, y'all on board? You know what I'm saying? Like if we gonna do it, you get you get everybody who believe what you believe, and everybody get together. Iowa, y'all ready? Because when they attack us here in Georgia, we need Iowa to take the fuck over. New York, Maine, when they hit you, we're gonna go down to Florida. We're gonna grow that shit. Texas, you got a whole bunch of goddamn land out there. When
See, a lot of us already have a plan. Mm-hmm. A lot of us already have a plan. I mean, that is a part of my humanitarian
Hey, that's good for
plan.
those people that got their plan, but for the people that don't know that there's a plan that even exists, how you get that message out?
See, that's the issue right there. You probably won't, and you probably won't accept it. So therefore, that's why there'll be some of us that have to go and do it.
Do it.
Because we're the ones that's going to be serious about it.
Do it.
And that's what it takes first, is to be serious about the shit. That's the first thing. I agree
with you. I totally agree with you. Do it.
You can consider that done. I mean, that's in the plan for many of us right this moment.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because
I'm not arguing with you. I totally
because we have to replenish, because we're watching the destruction happening. That's the reason why I read half of the article, is because I'm trying to say to folks, be mindful of the fact that they're destroying this stuff on purpose,
right? Because
there is a goal that they have.
There's a lot of people out there that don't know, like what you just shared. There's a lot of people that didn't know that, and now they're looking like, what is this happening? They're gonna go do their research. Oh shit, these motherfuckers blowing shit up. They started that when they killed Dr. Sebi, when they start burning up the rainforest, because the rainforest has the natural cures for all of the fucking diseases and the shit that we have. When they start burning that shit down, you think California fires is just happening just cause? Hell no, there's some shit up there.
No, they do it every year. They set it on fire every year.
Think about this here. If Northern California is the whatever percentage is for wine country, that means that there's some fertile goddamn soil up there. And so you burn that shit because that's fertile soil. And if you got fertile soil, you can grow fertile food, goddamn it.
Mm-hmm. That is the goal. And to do that anywhere. So talking about this, the goal is for people to understand that this is being done on purpose. These people do not have your best interests. And it is time for you to start your own gardens, if you can, or to get together, band together with people and start growing your own foods. And then, like I said, there's folks like myself, we have plans to have these growing things, and have these non-GMO grocery stores and all that. That's coming soon. People think that I'm just going to do film stuff. I got a lot of stuff in my plan that I will do in helping the world, because I want to see the world go further. And I'm not one of these people that say that's not my problem. No, it is my problem every single day. That's my problem, because this is my country. This is my planet. So that's my problem too.
The continent of Africa. Think about it. They tell you that Africa ain't nothing but a bunch of people with wood things in their mouth and out there in the country. Africa is just like any other place. It's got the suburbs and it's got the country. You take your ass to Africa, you're gonna see skyscrapers, you're gonna see technology, you're gonna see land, you're gonna see everything. And then you're gonna see the outskirts. You're gonna see the outskirts. You're gonna see the country.
Mm-hmm.
Now you tell me this: if Africa was what it was and it was not what it is, why all these strangers want to go be in a place that's subpar? Ask yourself that question. Why does all these other advanced countries want to go somewhere that's supposed to be subpar?
Because it
ain't subpar.
It has the read.
It has exactly what you need in order to survive life, because Africa and the Middle East, which is a part of fucking Africa
has the re. That's the
It's
rare
where
earth
life
element.
began in the first goddamn place.
Yeah, but they have the rare earth elements, and every country really wants that.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
They they want the re.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I sure wish you stopped chewing on whatever the hell you chewing on, because you about to tear up my brain
I'm
with
sorry.
your chewing.
I'm sorry. But I agree. And see, that's the thing. We not arguing. My thing is, I want you to push that shit out. Get it out
I
there.
mean, I
Mean,
do.
say what you mean and mean what you say. I'm not saying that you
One
don't.
thing, have you ever heard me hold back?
No, not at all.
There you go. I don't believe in holding back with what I say. It doesn't always go over with people very well, but I feel like I put it out there, I plant the seed. You have the opportunity to let it grow or throw it away. It's up to
Now,
you.
here's the deal. As we're live in the living room. Now, what are
Yes.
we saying as we're live in the living room? We talking about reality check. If
Right.
we taking it back, if we bringing it back, we talking about reality check. We talking about
Yeah.
reality check as far as life. We talking about reality check as far as football, presidential, political. We talking about a reality check
I can
when it
tell
comes
you.
to food and
Hmm.
survival. We're talking about a reality check when it comes to, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
calling people out on the bullshit and the wickedness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're talking about a reality check. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now, I would sit here and pose the question. I don't know if we have people online, if they're commenting or not.
Right. Well,
What are
I can
some of
tell you
the
what it
topics?
is.
Well, what are some of the topics that the audience may have as far as what we need to be focusing on as far as a reality check?
I mean, we can look and see if they have any comment for us. If anyone feel free to comment and let us know what you feel is the world changing. Are we watching this world change? Which we know we are. But I'll be honest with you. I've said this many times. We are heading towards a transition, but in the reality, we are in the middle of a transition right now. It's already happening, and
Right.
people who are still having their brains over in places and still watching stuff in the old way, and when they see different stuff they feel like we're heading to Armageddon. Instead of going to get better, we have to go through the dark sometimes in order to get to that light, because the dark was controlled by those individuals who wanted to control us. So as we start to sweep them out of the place and move them out of the place, we'll be open to more things that are happening. Like I said, this transition into NESARA and GSARA, National Economic Security and Reformation Act, or Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, is going to bring about a debt jubilee. It's going to bring about money. It's going to bring about a lot of stuff that
I'm
is
waiting on
happening
that
there.
shit because there's some student debt
It's
shit out
coming.
there that need to get cleared the fuck up ASAP. I'm waiting on this Sarah and Sarah. That sound like
All
some.
that
That
stuff
sound
is
like
coming.
somebody kid name. You know. And the Sarah, y'all get y'all ass in the house. That's what that
Yes, it
sounds like.
does sound like it.
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
surprised when I first heard it. Yeah, when I
Hey, so
first heard
look
it, I was
here.
like, really?
So I will say this. I will say this. A lot of some of the things that you say, like I told you, like we
Hmm.
say all the time, that they put shit out there for us to see it. Designated
Hmm.
survivor. I just got turned on to this. From my understanding, this show is a little bit older. Designated
Yeah,
survivor is a
I
good one.
love that show.
Designated
Right.
survivor, it was a good one because you have
Yeah.
your traditional left and right, and then you have the president who was a hardcore
Hmm.
independent and he's looking for change. Uh,
Right.
if you take a lot of the things that you promote and things that you say, and you look at designated survivor,
Hmm.
you can kind of see exactly what you're talking about and in the transition and
Hmm.
where things are supposed to be headed. Got it.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
you know, and then I was looking at a show that I got kind of turned on to, which was this was one actually my aunt kind of posted a thing earlier today about letting bygones be bygones and whether you hold on to certain grudges and dumb shit or you let it go. And she had this on her post, and you know what I'm saying? Uh, and I'm gonna have to probably give her a shout out, and so y'all can go check out her podcast and her thing as well and stuff like that. But it's my aunt. But
Hmm.
based off of her post, it made me look at something that I just ended up seeing, which was Black Summer. And Black
Hmm.
Summer, season 2, episode 5, where they start talking about bygones. You can hold on to some grudges, you can hold on to some bullshit, or you can let that shit go and you can let bygones be bygones. In order to prosper, you have to let old shit go and change. Like you said, change. The world is going through change. You have to change and move forward. Or you can hold on to that other bullshit and stay stagnant and probably cause yourself some destruction.
Yeah,
I'll leave that
depends on what
there.
it is. That's because, like, when we talk about this all the time, those who have destroyed the planet for so many years, it is a consensus that they all must be killed. All of their souls must be returned to the central sun. There is no
Okay.
putting them in jail. There is no putting them anywhere.
Okay.
They must be killed. They must
I
be
wasn't ready.
killed.
I wasn't ready for a whole eradication of the people, but I feel you. I feel
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel you.
because if you leave them around, they'll start it up again. They'll find a
Right,
way to
right.
start it up again. They gotta
And
come.
so then
Their
I'll go
souls
back
must be returned to
to
the central sun.
the show that I've been watching here recently that I just finished last night, which was called The Last
Hmm.
Kingdom. I was watching it when it
Hmm.
was out some months ago or a year ago, or however long it was. And there's a scene in there where one of the guys who's trying to create a rebellion, he says to himself or to somebody else that he's talking to, he says, in a fight to death, which we probably might be in, mankind
Well,
must be nimble. He said, mankind must be nimble.
mhm.
This particular gentleman that was making this statement said, I jump to escape being pushed.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Some people
Mhm.
will jump to sacrifice versus being pushed. If I jump, then I made the choice versus somebody pushing me and killing me. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? Now
Mm-hmm.
you can
Mhm.
take that and you can kind of play the brain game with it as you want. But I heard that phrase and it made me think. It made me stop. Like, hold on. So I can choose because it's all about a play of words, it's a twist of words. I can jump and decide whatever it is when I jump forward, backwards, wherever I jump to. Or a
Mhm.
motherfucker can push me and they done decided for me. So I can choose to decide or let another motherfucker decide for me.
Mhm.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
got you.
So
I got you
so
there.
I'm in it, and when you're like, well, where the fuck is he going with this? Based off of what you're saying about the change of the world, we
Mhm.
can jump, we can make the choice, or we can let another motherfucker choose for us.
Yeah.
You
And
see what
that's
I'm
what
saying?
pretty much what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying all
Yeah,
along.
that's what I'm
So when
saying.
I
So
talk to people and I encourage them to look at information, I don't want people to get pushed into a decision. That's the only reason why I am saying it, is because we people of this planet have looked for a very small number of individuals to make decisions for us across this planet, and it was never supposed to be that way. We make the decisions for ourselves, and we allowed it to happen, and we can never allow it to happen again. Once this transition happens, we can never allow it to happen again. So when I talk to people and I say all these things, I'm hoping that it'll say something that folks will look things up, and that they will be on that train of folks that want to go forward and not let the choice be made for them and they end up on one of those 3D planets.
that's
I would
let
like to
me
see folks progress.
let me ask Veronica a question. Miss Veronica, based off of a lot of the things that you heard tonight, give me your take or your spiel on anything throughout the night that you've heard. What is some of your opinions and thoughts on the matter?
I do stuff. Okay, starting back to what we was talking about. A difference was that the world is changing. Um, from where I grew up when I was a child to now, a whole lot of stuff has changed. And still changing. Some of them getting for the better, some of them getting for the worst. Um, uh, far as um the the stuff that's going on in the White House or whatever the presidency, I'm not. I don't have a good understanding about a whole lot of that, and I try to listen to what everybody's saying, but I'm getting mixed stuff here, mixed stuff here, mixed stuff here. You know, somebody saying this different, somebody saying that different, and somebody saying this different. So I just sit back. I'm just the type of person to just sit back and watch and see
So
what's
let me
going on.
so let me ask you a question. Why you on that since you on that right there? Is it one of the things where do you and some people do and some people don't. Some people just don't give two craps about politics. Some people just don't. It's just like, you know what, they gonna make what happen, whatever happened, and I'll just adjust as I need to. Are you one of those type of folks that just say that and it's not a bad thing, I'm asking. Or do you say, you know what, if it's relevant, I'll pay attention to it. If it's not, I really don't care. Because some people kind of feel like there is no hope. We don't control it anyway. Some people don't believe in the electoral vote. Some people don't, believe in, whether the people and all of this other stuff. So everybody had a different view. So I'm asking
I,
you,
I,
Miss
I,
B.
I, I don't get me wrong. I do vote. I do vote every time we have to
Right,
vote, and I try to pay attention to the people that I'm voting for. I try to pay attention to them,
right.
but then it's like, um, whoever I believe in or whoever I vote for, I'm giving them. I feel like I'm giving them a chance, but then they mess up, they f up. Then I be like, well, dang, I voted for them. Just like a whole lot of these people out here that voted for Trump. You know, they saw everything that he done, and what was going on with him, and so now then when he did what he did, like when all that mess that happened at the White House, now a whole lot of them white folks saying, Lord, I wish I would have never voted for him, and stuff like that. So I mean, like I said, like you said, I sit back and I watch, and whatever happens, it happens. I
You
try
know,
to, I
there's
try
a
to.
I knew it. I can see it. I can see the
there is
face. I
a
can see it,
there's a
bro.
point where I have to jump in because as I have a show here and there's a certain narrative that I have to be consistent with. And that narrative is anything away from the mainstream media. And the mainstream media is the worst bullshit that was ever created. And that worst bullshit has manipulated the minds of so many people. That's why there is a confusion sometimes when it comes to the politicians, who they are, what they do. All this stuff has been manipulated for so long. They did not want to see someone to come in to end their tyranny. And
Exactly.
that's what the whole Trump thing was about. It was just to end their tyranny. It's not even about the man. It was about the end of the stuff, and people will see that part. That's what's coming in the transition. They will see that happen. But there's a certain point here where there is so many lies that they have put out there. It's ridiculous. The January 6th thing, the whole thing has just been a world of lies. Anybody who cannot see that the election was stopped on election night, and that however many was it, 6 to 8 states, those votes were saved, and all just about were given to Biden. Anybody who can't see that is brain dead. But let's just say it started from the beginning. There's no such thing as the Electoral College. It's bullshit. It's always been bullshit. They have always decided who they want to be as the president, and they've always made it happen. Your vote is never counted. You get out, you do that vote, and it's never counted. Your
Right.
vote has never counted. I'm going to say it one more time. It's bullshit. Electoral college was always bullshit. Your vote has never counted. Okay. Mike, when you finish hiding yourself, you can come back and start some more shit. So,
No, we're good. We're good.
because I'll just be glad to see the awakening. It is not even about the actual candidates. It's about the dark versus the light. There's so many people who have been characterized as light characters who are the worst things that have ever happened. to this planet. And just so you all know, many of them have gone away. They ain't
So,
nobody living in the
That's why I'm
White
getting ready to buy
House.
me one of those. I'm getting
so
ready to buy
the
me one of
reason,
those
Uh-huh.
Aerosmith. What is it? Arrow Garden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to buy me one of those because I like to blow. I can't grow the stuff outside of my yard. My yard is a mess.
Right.
When it rains, it's messy back there. It'll drown everything back there in the backyard. So I don't try to grow nothing back there. I can't put a garden back there because when it rains, it's gonna float it right on away. So
well,
I'm
then
gonna
take it
get me
off the
one of those.
ground. Get it off the ground then.
Right.
I'm gonna put it in my house. I'm gonna grow one in my house.
So
Okay.
the reason I asked that question, and it's one of those things because you know, Tanya, you have your views, and your opinions and your thoughts, and you're very strong minded. Uh, I have
Well,
mine.
tell the
I like
truth.
I can go. See, my thing is, I get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but I like to play devil's advocate because I do
I know.
understand, and I play devil's advocate because I do understand that there are people out there because I was there at once where I did not
Mm-hmm.
understand. And
Right.
then I just happened to kind of travel the world, gains a little bit exposure and experience, and then now I get the other side of it.
But then
And then I
people don't know the basic stuff. Like, for instance, I'm just say something very basic, and people think I'm crazy. There ain't nobody living in the White House. There's never been anybody living
but
in the
you
White
can't,
House
but
since
you
this.
have to
Let me finish
understand.
my comment. Let me finish my comment. Since this last administration, he ain't lived in that damn White House. When they get ready to
Right.
do those press conferences, they running their asses out the Castle Rock Studios in California, or running their asses down here to Tyler
Get
Perry
out of here.
Studios, and they're going in these fake ass White Houses, and all this stuff is going on, and people are sitting there pretending in their heads like this is really real. So when I say this stuff, I'm only saying, wake the hell up. That's what I'm saying.
Got it.
It
Now
ain't
watch
real.
this. Because I hear you. No one knows what you know.
I'm
They don't.
telling you so you can go look it up.
Right. Just because you say it, don't make it true. So
No,
yes,
just
they
go
go
look it
and
up.
look it up.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm gonna tell you right now. You say something, I go look at it on Google. There's a bunch of counter sites for
Yeah.
misinformation.
And that's why I
So
say go to either DuckDuckGo, maybe not so, but go to
right.
google.ru.
So
You got
but,
to
but
go
every
somewhere
every
where
every
else.
time you say so every time
Yeah.
you say every time
Mm-hmm.
you put out information and then the people go to where you say go, they go to Google, and now there's a misinformation campaign. And now you're saying, well, you need to go to duck, 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 duck. They don't know to go to duck, 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 duck. They don't.
DuckDuckGo, or to go to
No, I'm
google.ru.
being funny when I say duck, 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 duck.
Right.
I'm just saying, but they don't
Now I
know.
want to give them that so that if they want to go there, they can, or they can go
Right.
to
But
google.ru, because
until tonight,
Russia,
they never knew that.
but I'm telling you, Russia tends to tell the people in their country more truth than they tell here in the United States. So if I tell you to go to google.ru, it's only so that you can look up some stuff over there to see if you can find some of the things that I'm saying.
Right.
And then
So
you can
that's the
compare
thing.
the
You have
notes.
and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Hmm.
battling you. I'm just saying when I ask you those questions, I ask you those questions so that the people who don't know or who may be hearing it for the first time, then you get to speak out and say, go to duck, duck, goose, goose. And now they know where to go to, and I'm being funny, they know where to
Yeah, you
go
are.
to get but they know where to go to get the new information now, right? So
Right.
that's your
Hmm.
avenue to say, Michael, I hear you, you annoying fuck you, um, however that goes. I'm being funny or silly or trying to be anyway. And then now they have that information. I asked Veronica her viewpoint because Veronica represents a different mindset or a different viewpoint of
Right.
never, right? Not saying that she's anything else, but
Right.
she represents like like hey, I don't get into all of that stuff. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. I'm trying to fix my yard so I
Right.
can grow some plants and shit over here. So for people that may be in Veronica's shoes, when she speaks what she speaks, and then we respond, and then we end up providing that information to people that think or feel like Veronica does. Because I know for me, like
Mm-hmm.
earlier in a certain part of the conversation, I'm like, yo, I don't give two fucks about that because I don't pay attention to
Mm-hmm.
celebrity lifestyles like that. I really don't. I don't give a fuck about them. They not
Mm-hmm.
paying my bills. They not helping me with my son, or they not helping me with my niece or my nephew. They ain't doing shit for me. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck about them. Fuck an Inquirer,
Mm-hmm.
fuck a whomever else, and fuck all that extra shit. That's how I feel at
Well,
times,
it wasn't. It
depending on
wasn't
what I'm
about
dealing with.
the right, and it wasn't to me about that as far as caring about pop culture because sometimes I don't either. I just care about the welfare of people, especially children that have been abused over and over, killed by these individuals. 8 million children missing per year. 800,000 from the United States. This has been happening. It's been going on too long, and it's been happening at the hands of the elite, your Hollywood, your Nashvilles, and everything. So when I say these things to you, I'm telling you what to look for. I'm just
Right,
telling you what to
right,
look for.
right. And then
You
when you
know.
see those things, we are able to see those things. And it was like, oh snap.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta kind of look out for that. You gotta watch out for that. And man, just kind of in for instance, because people had their thoughts about certain icons in news and their
Mm-hmm.
court trials, right? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and people say, well, 20 some odd people ain't saying this shit for nothing. I get it. That's what I'm telling you. I understand. I get where you're coming from. But
Mm-hmm.
people gonna believe what they want to believe. People gonna support who they
Right.
want to support. So the only thing you can do
See,
is
I can't wait until
provide them
CNN
provide
disappear.
them a
Because
path to the
CNN,
stream,
yeah,
right?
CNN is getting
Provide
ready to disappear off from that narrative. They get ready to change
them,
all that. And I'm going to
but
see
all
what
you can
happens with
do,
these other news stations.
but all
But
you
I
can
can't
do,
wait until the narrative changes that is being put out there to people. And when they first snatch away the cocaine news network, crime news network, or what you want to call it, the Clinton news network, what you want to call it, when they first snatch that one, it's going to be the first domino that's going to
right?
fall because
And that's
my
fine,
understanding is
right?
it's already
That's
being
fine.
bought.
That's fine.
It's just like a
But
Twitter thing. So I can't
right,
wait till the narrative changes, and then people will see more from people other than
right.
myself
You
because
can't
I
wait
look
till the
like
narrative
I'm on
changes. You can't wait till the narrative changes so everybody else can have the viewpoint that you have.
to
Some
just
people
so
might
they
not.
can
Some
for their own safety. Now, some people are not going to change. You're absolutely right. They're not going to
right.
change.
And that's all I'm saying.
Absolutely not.
The only thing you can
Mm-hmm.
do is show them a path to fresh water,
Mm-hmm.
or you can
Yeah.
show them a path to tainted waters. Either way,
Yeah.
you're showing them a path to the essentials of life. It's up to them whether they choose to drink it or not.
Drink it. Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Exactly it.
So that's why I told you I'm with you because I
Uh-huh.
agree. I agree. Hey, here's some water. This is clean water. This is dirty water. But I done brought your ass the water. Now you pick which water you want to drink.
Right.
You know what I mean? And guess
Right.
what? If they pick dirty water, are you gonna be mad because they pick dirty water?
No, I just have to wave goodbye. We have already made a decision. I'm dead
Sorry.
ass serious. We have already made a decision that we are going to have to say goodbye to a lot of folks. We've already made that decision. You cannot tell people how to think and live.
She said, "Yeah, I'm gonna just have to wait goodbye to the book." I'm sorry. That one hit home. That was a
They
good one.
might be family, they might be friends, or whatever. We just have to be prepared to do it. We talk about this all the time. That there's some people who are not going to get it and just have to do
Right.
it.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
I
You
feel you.
know.
So,
But
and remember, so
Margo's in the
what's she
chat saying
saying?
something. What's Margo saying in the chat over there?
Hold on, let me see. She said, "Oi, love what? Or love your country and Texas slang." What I miss?
I'm not sure what Margo's saying. Margo, what are you saying?
Yeah, tell her to come on in and explain herself. But
Yeah.
so I only ask questions and I do the whole, devil's advocate thing because there's a lot of people that do hold different views,
Right.
right? They do hold different views. But
And you know
if
how I get when I hear somebody reciting something I heard on TV, you know, I'll be like,
yeah, so it's just one of those
it
things
just about
where,
takes my breath away.
but you like, and so my thing is, you do have people that may come on here and listen to what we're saying, and they may
Right,
hold opposing views. So I do want to
right.
kind of go that route to kind of represent people who may have opposing views, so that then we do have an opportunity to kind of say, hey, here's why I believe this, or here's why I think this, and then allow those folks the opportunity to either say something back or add to the context, so that we're all educated in a sense. You know what I mean? So that's all. I feel you, sis. I got you. I'm with you. You know, I feel like my third eye, well, wherever the hell is that on this big shiny ass forehead, is somewhat open, somewhat. You know, I know that I still have much to learn. I don't know everything. Like I tell people all the time, I know a lot about a little bit about a lot, but I don't know
I'll be able to
everything.
tell when you get off that 33. Eh,
Nah,
Hey.
hey, you can say what you want to say. You can say what you want to
I'm
say.
gonna
You can
say
believe
what I
what you
want to
want to
say. I'm
believe.
gonna say what I need to say over and over and over. I am.
Yes, you can. I mean, everybody. So that's just like religion. That's just
You know,
like
you,
religion.
you know that's something
That's
you
just
can't
like
talk about with me
religion.
too, right?
No, I'm just saying that's just like with religion, because one minute people will sit there and say they're religious, then they'll turn around and say that they're spiritual. Well, see, religion and spirituality are not the same thing. For some
Exactly.
people, their spirituality is religion.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
I get
saying?
that.
They're not the
I get
same
that.
thing. So,
Right, they're definitely not.
right?
They're definitely
So
not.
you can't necessarily judge somebody because their spirituality, because spirituality is what makes you your best you.
It's you
It's
know the
what
thing
makes you your
is,
best
it's
you.
not a judgment for me. Where I have gotten with the people that I deal with on a daily basis, what we have decided is no, you can't change people. You just don't have to deal with them very much. You just
Right,
Right.
limit your dealings. You know,
right.
you
And
don't have to try to
if
change them.
if someone has opposing views or views different from yours, and you can't respect that, and you would rather eliminate them than to maintain a
There,
friendship with them
there
having
has to
opposing
be
views, then that
no,
shows
it's
some
not.
shallowism in an
It's
individual.
not opposing views. Because anybody, we can have opposing views like this, but there is a life way. And why you put go off camera? There's a way of life
Because I
that
may be doing some
is
things that
getting
I don't need the public to see.
okay, whatever. Okay, there's a way of life that we are moving towards right this moment, and you have to make decisions because some people are very clear. To me, I got friends to me who have a problem with the way that I think. They attack me. They
Uh,
can't be in my world because I'm not going to
so
tolerate that on a daily basis.
okay,
So
so
they
you
have
so
to be
okay, that
limited.
makes sense.
Yes.
So now that you explain that, that makes sense,
Hmm.
What?
because
You know.
because I value opposing views, because
Right.
in a sense, right, in order to gain knowledge, I have to
Hmm.
talk to people with various or different views from mine, because what I
Right.
think I know or what I thought I knew, when they introduce a different thought or a different mindset or a different opinion, then I get to go do my research, because I'm doing my research to try to prove a motherfucker wrong. But in the process of trying to prove somebody wrong, I may stumble across some information and be like, oh shit, they may be right. Right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so now I just gained some knowledge that now I can sit here and say, well, on the contrary, you see what I'm saying? And so now
Hmm.
I'm a little bit more educated than I was before. So and that's
Hmm.
why I do my devil's advocate, because I pride myself, because for the longest I had a one set of a certain viewpoint. And then
Right.
when I
Well,
end
see,
up
the thing is, I don't necessarily go and I don't play the devil's advocate. I just ask people what they feel, and if it's opposing, then it's opposing. But the thing is, I still feel a responsibility, especially when it comes to my platform, that
Right.
I can't let it fall off the side of the table.
So, and
And
I respect that. And I will tell you why I understand where you're coming from.
yeah.
Right? Because you remind me of Tom. I can tell you right now,
Hmm.
the way Tom is, and Tom is my ace boom coon.
Hmm.
Tom loves debate. Tom has a mindset to where he believes his thoughts or his views, and he will go there and he welcomes the debate because he welcomes the knowledge and the difference of opinions. He holds true to his belief. And the moment you fluctuate, you fucked up with Tom, right? And I only say that because the moment you fluctuate, you got to stand your ground. Not trying to be funny, but you got to stand your
Right.
ground because the moment you fluctuate, now you give him the
Hmm.
the ways to come at you because you just varied your view. You didn't hold strong to your belief. You didn't hold strong to your truth. So I get it.
Right.
You're holding strong to your truth and to your belief. You welcome the differences of opinion, but it does not
Hmm.
change who you are. I totally understand that and respect that. But you gotta welcome the differences of opinion at times,
Yeah, I
just for
do.
educational purposes.
I
Do
do,
you
but when
agree
I
or
ask
disagree
people
with that?
to, I do allow people to have their own opinions. But when I say there's a certain thing about the platform, when it goes too far and starts going off the edge, then you know me, I drag it back up. That's just how I am.
Right. Okay. No, no, and
Hmm.
respect. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. But you know me, I'm gonna go there with you. I'm gonna go there with you.
What did
And my
Margo
thing is,
say?
what she say?
Margo,
Is she?
she said,
Let me
when
find out
Mike
she
gets
talking noise.
passionate, yeah, when Mike gets passionate in his discussion, please disregard the first incomplete message. And she said, I'm shaking my head.
I'm please elaborate on that shit. Please. I want to know what that means. My incomplete message. What the hell is that? You know what I mean? Please come on in here.
Margo gonna
Get
come
your
on
ass.
here. She gonna come on
Tell her
here
to
and
bring
beat
her
you
ass on the
up.
show. It say something. We talking through the chat. Come on in here.
She come
But
in here and
no,
beat you up. And Veronica, I'm
I
gonna beat
only
Veronica up, but she don't give me that soda. I want a soda. I've been dying to have a soda. I never have sodas. I want a soda. Oh, shut up. God, she showed me the Canada Dry. I
no
haven't had a
prayer.
soda, and I want a soda.
I know because you said you wanted
Welch's
a crush.
grape or
Okay, okay.
Fanta or Crush or something. I want a soda. Oh
Yeah.
God.
So that's all.
You're gonna have to
Like,
get your Uber to take you to go get it.
Yes,
uh-oh.
so yeah.
Uh-oh. Nah.
It-
So I do my whole little thing because I want to learn. And I would tell you this, for example, I think we talked about this, where I held a strong belief, at one
No.
point in time based on political folks that we held in high standards of high regard.
Right.
And I went, I was TDY or in the military. I was on a trip where I was supporting a real world event, and
Mm-hmm.
I went out to go partake in smoking a black and mild, and uh, one of the guys out there saw me, and he just knew that I was a Obama voter, and and he was the opposite of an Obama voter. We'll just say that. But in the mix of us being out at the smoke pit, smoking cigars, to say that,
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to let me know that his grandchild was black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, congratulations, right? Congratulations. But the conversation I had with him, he
Uh-huh.
if I would have been the type of person that would have shut him down and not listened to what he was saying, I would have missed this information. He gave me
Right.
some information. I was stationed in Korea twice, and in
Right.
Korea there were certain things that just had not happened. But in the midst
Mm-hmm.
of him trying to, I guess, befriend me and tell me some things, he enlightened me that one president did some things with Korea that no one other president has ever done ever in life. And I was like, damn, you know what? Outside of all the relic, that is a major fucking accomplishment. But that accomplishment doesn't get the credit it deserves because of all the other rhetoric. Talking to you and a few other people, I realized that the rhetoric was intentional. You see what I'm saying? But when you take away the rhetoric and some of all of the other dumb stuff, and you actually look at the accomplishments
real report card
during a presidency, you see
Yes.
that, damn, this individual did something that no one else has done. Right?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
so
saying.
so that's what I'm saying. That itself, that action itself is commendable minus the rhetoric. And that's one of the things where, right, and this is where I looked at it as, you can do 1,000 things right, but the one thing you do wrong will get all of the attention that erases
they may
the
decide
1,000
to
things
use
that
that.
you did right. You see what I'm
because
saying?
They use that.
Right. So that's all I'm saying. Right. And that's just one of the things where you may have a fucked up individual, but what makes that individual fucked up? Because they did this. But what about the thousands of good things that they did for the world or for the population or for whomever, but you're only holding them accountable to the one thing that they did wrong? Right?
If that was really wrong.
What I'm just, Now
I'm just saying that whatever, sometimes some things are brought to the light that are not wrong. You know, the media is, how they do.
Right.
So
and you can look at that. You can look at that in some of the criminal aspects of our people, and then somebody will do something and they'll be like, oh, this guy did this. But then you don't see the fact that they helped the homeless, they helped, underprivileged people. They fucking went out and stood against murders, kids, Plan B, abortion, whatever the fuck they did. That was good works. But then that one thing they did wrong overshadows everything else, and then they only get judged for that and not their good works.
Right.
Depending on what you believe in, they say judge a person off of their good works, and then so on and so forth, and blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole there, but got it. Right. So you just share that knowledge. You lead people to the water, whether it be clean or dirty. It's up to them to drink it. Right.
That's right.
Yeah. So we leave that there.
Got it good.
Yeah. Done.
Well,
done.
I think overall this discussion about reality check and can you see the world is changing. We've been in a lot of places with it. My goal in doing this is prep for the transition, getting closer every day. It's going to scare the bejesus out of some people, because if you are swallowing what mainstream is feeding every day, it may be very scary. So the whole goal is to say things to folks so you won't be so scary, and that you will look at it and say, this is that transition that we've been talking about for a long time. And on the other side, it's going to be some good stuff.
Let me ask you this. Does the reality check only portray to the topic of discussion that we're talking now? Or does that reality check also include family, friends, and loved ones?
You mean as far as include them as in their views, or include them as in, I mean,
reality
give me a
check,
little more.
period. Reality check. People in your family think is one way, ain't shit at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we kind of hit the political and the Hollywood and all that. But let's bring it in. I'm only asking because I don't want to take it somewhere where it ain't meant to go. But I'm only
Right.
asking that point where you start talking about family, friends, and loved ones, day ones and A1s, and loyalty and royalty. Whatever is
Yeah,
that part of the reality check as well, or is that am I taking it
I
somewhere it don't need to go?
honestly feel that when it comes to, okay, I got a nucleus of people who I
That's
deal
what
with.
I'm only asking.
Okay, I got
So
a nucleus that I deal
if I'm
with.
wrong, tell me I'm off track and we can
Oh,
stay
let
on.
me just say this. Then they know what's coming, know what's happening. But then I have your family friend unit that may not know. And when you say things, I could tell they're not ready. So you have to be right here so that when everything starts to happen, you're here still. And they, if they want to, they still have access to you. They can still reach you. And they have access to you to ask some questions if their ego does not get in the way. I think it will with some people, and that's not going to be my problem. But I'm here if somebody has information that they need.
Is that solely based on 3D, 4D, 5D, or are you talking about life period?
Life period, because well, a lot of it is the vibration too, though. You know, if they just don't have the vibration, they just don't have it, and you ain't. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
There's nothing you can do. You could say what you want to them, and they're not ready to awaken. You're not gonna wake them up. You can push them off a cliff. They ain't waking up unless they want to wake up. And it's not my job to do that anyway. I'll present the information.
And
I'm the presenter.
I only ask that because you know, some people get sick, some people maintain health,
Right.
some people violate, some people you know, uh some people do good deeds, some people do bad deeds and all that other stuff. So when you say a reality check, what happened when you got to cut a motherfucker off? And it's somebody that
You
you
just
just
have
near and
to.
dear to your heart, and you got to
You,
cut them off. And see, that's a reality check.
right. And see, that's one thing I've even spoken to you off camera about.
Right, right, right.
Sometimes you have to know. It goes back to that whole definition that everybody who is even related to you by blood does not have to stay in your life forever. It may not be meant for them to. That may I don't rock.
I said,
You and your
excuse me,
Canada
I'm sorry.
dry.
You did. I love you saying it. Tell them how you
Hey, look,
feel, Veronica.
I thought I had y'all on mute. I really thought
No,
y'all had y'all on
no,
mute
we
talking
heard
to
all
me.
of that shit. I'm gonna tell you that now. We heard all of that. Like,
But yeah, there
hey,
comes a
that's that
time.
real shit, Ron. I like that. That's that
Yeah.
real shit. Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry. I
she
apologize.
looked at us like, what?
Because I
She
had thought
looked at us,
I had y'all on mute.
okay.
I did. I really thought I had y'all on mute.
Hey,
And then
look
when I turned
here.
around and it came out, I was like,
Look here. You lied, boo. The world heard that shit. They're like,
oh my
Anyway, I'm just
God.
talking about the
I
way
am
she
so
looked at.
sorry.
She probably thought she was on mute, but she looked at us like, what?
Oh my
hey, hey, did y'all see that? I was showing somebody this thing today. It said, I don't know if it was a lady or a man, but they was in bed like a motherfucker, and it said when you hit what did it say? When you hit video instead of mute. And they
Oh,
was in an office meeting. Everybody was in the conference room looking at the TV, and they ass was in
no.
bed with they scrub on and everything, like this here. Like
Well, I know they
That's
were
a
embarrassed.
lot. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
lot.
But nah,
Well,
man.
like I was saying, there comes a time in life when it can be a family, it can be a friend.
Yeah.
Like I had to stop talking to one of my dear friends about 6 months ago because he wouldn't stop badgering me, about my different views. He just would stop badgering me. And I love him dearly, but I couldn't put up with the abuse.
So do
Had
you
I
find
missed him?
yourself losing friends because of your differences in views?
No, because I don't talk a whole lot to people. I can gauge the conversation with folks. And when I start seeing it, I hear certain little
Oh.
things. I'm like, oh no, this is not a conversation that I can have with this individual. No. So I just stand back. I stand back. I don't choose to talk a whole lot to a lot of people.
Well,
It's,
you ever, and I'm only asking this question because I know that this is what the world experiences. You
right.
ever vibe with somebody and you have not necessarily yet went there with them when it comes to the varying views on certain topics, and then
Hmm.
when you get into that, you realize, holy shit, uh,
Hmm.
this person is only good for this type of environment or these types of conversations, and maybe not necessarily for this. And then you have to
Right.
pull back, refrain, restrain, or whatever else, or you have to adjust accordingly, uh, so
I
that
had
there is.
two ladies that I was at dinner with, and they kept saying, "Tell me who, tell me who," and I would talk to them about a lot of stuff, and I liked them a whole lot. When they left that dinner with me, they never spoke to me again. So I learned from that particular dinner
Ooh.
that you just don't tell. I don't care how much people say who and what and everything.
Right.
You just
Ah,
don't go
sorry.
too far because they're not ready yet. And so I learned from that to revamp how I speak to people, and I only feed just a little bit and see how their reaction is, what they give me back. Usually what they give me back lets me know whether they are ready to continue talking, and what
Just
they
a
have to give me
little
back
bit.
is some information.
With just a touch of love. Just a little bit. Who was that? Keith Sweat? That Keith Sweat?
Yeah,
That,
no, that's older
yeah.
than you sweat.
Yeah.
That's older.
Yeah.
I have to figure it out now.
But
I
nah,
gotta figure it
man.
out.
I learned a lot of things, man, and y'all might hear me say it a lot, but uh man, I was very strong willed, strong minded, and it was just based off the way I was raised and the teachings that I was taught. And then like I said, I
Right.
started, the one thing about the military is I was able to travel and get different viewpoints. And then I realized that people in Africa, when I went to Africa, that was just a whole awakening for me, because everything that I had ever saw about Africa was one way. And when I actually went
Hmm.
there, I saw technology, I saw
Hmm.
buildings, I saw
Right.
businesses, I saw entrepreneurship, I saw a whole bunch of other things. And I was like, yo. And then when I had conversation with these people, I
Hmm.
realized that they not only knew their information, they knew more about America than I did. And I'm from America.
Right.
They knew
Right.
more about
Yeah, a
American
lot of us are,
politics than I did. You see what I'm saying? And
yeah,
then they knew,
because they're
and
getting
then
better news.
right, and then they knew their native language,
Ooh,
and because of their
Right.
history, they a lot of people in Africa know French, and then patois,
Hmm.
and then they
Right.
know multiple languages. When you look at
Hmm.
various different countries, they're multilingual, and we're sitting here trying to be bilingual, only catering
Hmm.
to our bordering states. I mean, bordering countries. My bad. Let me fix that. Bordering countries, where they're
Right.
looking at a worldview of, I know French, I know German, you know what I'm saying? I know
Hmm.
Chinese, I know Korean, I know this, and they know like 4 or 5 different languages. And that is
Right.
and that is their customary thing. That is something that
Right.
has to be done. And then we sitting here saying that we're a superpower when we only know English
You know,
and maybe
you
a
know we're
bordering
not.
country's language.
Right?
You know what
We
I'm
have no
saying?
superpower.
So that baffled me, and I'm like, yo, like what in
Mhm.
the like what's really going on? You
It
know what I
was
mean?
a mindset that was placed upon us. We were the baby of the cabal. That's the mindset that they gave to the world. This was their baby right here, and they used it. They used our country, our Hollywood, our Nashvilles, and everything to shape how things should be, what you should yearn for across the world. They
Yeah.
used our country in that way,
So yeah.
and the
So
people bought
I was
in.
kind of exposed to these things, and then it was just like that. And then I always pay homage to Tom because he kind of helped me transition
Mhm.
into a different mindset, and I just saw things a little bit different, man. And I welcome that
Right.
that knowledge because I love knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I know a lot about
Hmm.
a little bit about a lot, but I don't know everything. But I am willing to learn. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Hmm.
for me, I'm gonna play devil's advocate because that's the only way I'm gonna get the opposing views and the information that I need, so I can go do
Right.
my research, and then now I come back with a whole implicit viewpoint versus than a fixed viewpoint. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but
And
anyway,
that's good.
I mean,
I mean, that is definitely good because it is good that I don't like a platform where everybody agrees. That is so
right.
boring.
If
That is
everybody is the
not,
same, how do you learn? How do you
yeah,
grow?
right. You don't learn, you don't grow,
Go
and it's
ahead, Ron.
boring.
What's up, Ron?
What I was going, I was listening to what I was saying. I was listening to the restaurant, listening to what I
Hmm.
was saying. I guess that's the way I am.
Hmm.
I don't want to just like nothing against you, Tanya.
Hmm.
Okay, nothing against you, but I don't like to hear it just from one person.
Hmm.
I have to hear from multiple people to what's going on and sit and say, okay, and then like if I'm sitting around people that I hang around with, my family members that I hang around with, and if I hear from more than one family member or one person that I hang around with or I'm around or a certain amount of people that I'm around, that's like everybody buzzing like, well, da 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 is getting ready to happen, and oh, we getting ready to do this, and this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and I just hear from one person saying that this is gonna happen, and they're telling me what's gonna happen, what's getting ready to get down and shake down or whatever. But then I don't hear from nobody else. I don't hear nobody else buzzing about it. I don't hear from nobody. I do want to learn what's going
Hmm.
on and pay attention to what's going on or whatever. But and believe what's going on and or whatever. But like I said, I got to hear it from more than one person.
So let me ask you this, because
I
I
think that's the
totally
answer to that's the answer to the reality check that you asked me about a little while ago, Michael.
right. So, and that's the thing because some people need validation from multiple sources. Now, that doesn't mean that Veronica is wrong because when you go to and I know you have your views, but let's just say in the modern day education system, which is
Hmm.
depending on what you believe, right? The modern day education system, they tell you in order to validate a source, it has to be credible, it has to be current, it has to be backed by this
Hmm.
and that and the other. Depending on where you're getting it from, the backing could be from same people with same viewpoints, and then they flood you with this, and then you believe that to be true,
Right.
which could be the wrong
Not
information.
I
saying
have a
that you're
question.
wrong.
I have a question, but I have
Yeah,
a
Saying
but
question
that
for
you're
y'all.
wrong.
I'm
But
only saying
I do
that,
have a,
right?
but I have
In
to
in,
ask this
in,
question.
in modern day
Just
education, that's how
because,
they tell you.
right? But I'm saying, but just because you haven't heard my information, do you really believe I'm only getting it from one source?
No, 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 no. That's what
You're
I'm
getting it from a source, but we're not getting it from that source. See what I'm
No,
saying?
I'm saying, do you believe? Do you believe I'm only getting it from one source? Is the question. Do you
you
believe I
talking to
only
both
get it
of
from
us?
one source?
You talking to both of
Yes.
us or
Do
Veronica
you?
in particular?
Yeah. I'm asking both of you all. Do you believe that I only get my information from one source?
I've talked to you. So I've talked to you to where
Hmm.
you've already told me that you had a belief. Then you talked to a complete and total stranger across the world, and they told you the same thing that you either believed yourself or that you got information from on the opposite side of the world. And you two have never met, but y'all have the same fucking viewpoint. What are the odds of
Yeah,
that? You gotta
yeah,
go with
and
that,
we
right?
have our own. Yeah, we have our own alternative news networks that we plug into. There's a lot of information. If you open that door, there's a lot of information there.
Right.
And you don't
So
take everything that's said, because some things, it's just like this. We do it all the time. I will hear something, and then I will go to one of the people in my group. I'm like, that don't resonate with me at all. They're like, no, it don't resonate with me either. We don't believe everything. There's certain things that we say, that doesn't resonate at all. But there's some
I'll tell you,
things that do.
I'll share experience, right? Remember, I told
Hmm.
you, like, as a kid, like, I'm a PK, I'm a preacher's kid.
Hmm.
And
Right.
my grandma, my dad, they would tell me certain things. And I would sit back and I'd be like, that shit don't make sense to me. And I'm a kid.
Hmm.
I'm a 5, 6, 7-year-old kid. And I'm like, nah, that shit don't make sense to me. A
Right.
belief that I had or a thought or something that I questioned or opposed at 7 years old didn't come to fruition until I was 20, 21 years old. When I was way to hell in Tampa, Florida at a barbershop talking to a complete stranger who said exactly the same shit that I was thinking when I was 7 years old.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yo, I ain't never met this dude in my life. But he said the same shit that I was thinking at 7. Now that I'm 21 and I'm hearing it from a complete stranger. What are the fucking odds of that? I ain't never
Hmm.
talked to this dude in my life before, but he just said everything that I ever questioned my dad or my grandma on as a 7, 8 year
Hmm.
old kid.
Right.
What are the odds of that? How does this man believe the same thing that I believe, and he's in a whole different part of the country that I ain't never been to?
Hmm. Because minds connect.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm
It's
saying. So
frequencies. Yeah, there's definitely
that's what I'm
frequencies.
saying. Like
Hmm.
I welcome the conversation because somebody may think like I'm thinking that I ain't never
Hmm.
talked to. When I went to Africa and had certain conversations, conversations that I had thought of or that I had when I was 19, 20 years old. But now I'm, 30 years old and I'm in Africa and I'm talking to a complete, somebody from Djibouti, the country of Djibouti, which they're considered Djiboutian, right?
Hmm.
And then they start telling me about life and in America and religion and everything else. And I'm like, yo, you just said everything that I've ever said when I was 20 years old, like 10 years ago. How the fuck does that happen? You see what I'm saying? So,
Travel on
you
the
know,
same frequency.
right.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. So there are people out there that it takes it like when you telling somebody something and they don't get it, but then somebody else come over and say the same thing that you said, but all of a sudden, because that person said it, it makes 100% sense to them, and now they get it. And you're like, motherfucker, I've been telling you that shit for 20 years, and you ain't never understood it.
Yes.
But this person said it, and
And
now
see, the
you
thing
understand.
is, I
Right?
know
You know
that
what I'm
that's
saying?
going to happen. That is actually going to happen over the next months. I'm going to see that a lot. I'm going to see the light bulb switch on for a lot of people, and the light bulb just go on right on top of their head, because
Right.
they're seeing something now play out on the newly acquired TV network, who is now going to be
Right.
forced to give you real information. So therefore, they're going to feel something, or someone who they trust more is going to give them some information. And to me, I'll be moved on. Me, I got so much work to do
But
after this
I don't.
transition. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't have the time to
But
care.
my thing is this: should we be getting offended because our explanation of something didn't resonate with somebody.
Did you hear
Because
what I just said?
no, but I'm saying because sometimes somebody else will explain it in a different manner to which it makes sense to somebody in the way that we thought we were,
Let me say,
you know,
it's like this.
communicating it.
It's not
It didn't
even
go,
going
it
to
didn't
be as
resonate.
much
It
as
didn't resonate with that person the way that we thought it did.
what it's going to be. It's not even going to be that it didn't resonate. It's just that it didn't come from, it came from me. And some people have a blockage if they feel a certain way, they accept certain things from another person. I've already accepted that. When this all happens, like I said, I'll be busy. I'll be going to
Right.
help people at this moment. I won't have
So
the time to really care about whether they got it or not.
so as an instructor, me being an
Mm-hmm.
instructor on some of the things that I teach, that I've taught in the military or that I teach now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily take it personal when I'm explaining something using my metaphors or analogies, and I'm thinking there's
Mm-hmm.
only one way to understand this shit, and I'm explaining it in the simplest forms. Somebody else comes along and uses a different metaphor or a different analogy, and it makes perfect sense to everybody in the classroom. And I'm like, well, fuck, I've been saying this for the last 40 minutes and nobody understood it. But this person came in here and used this analogy or used this fucking example, and everybody
Michael, I
understood it.
understand that. And I said I understood that. But I said, in addition to that, it's not going to just be the way that I explained it, it's going to be who I am explaining it. See, we all accept that. We all understand that the information coming from us is not going to be accepted by people around us for various reasons.
Right,
We just understand that.
right.
But we know that when the transition happens, the same thing that we're saying is going to be accepted, but we got to move on because no longer do we have time to talk. We got to move into action. That's all I'm saying.
No, no, I feel you. I'm just saying
Right.
like that. I've been in that position to where I was trying to explain something, it didn't resonate. Somebody else said it or explained it better, and then it
Oh,
resonated,
definitely.
and then you be like, motherfucker, like at least for me, I'll be like, God damn it, I just said the same thing they said, but they said it and you got it better. But I'm not
Right.
mad. I'm not mad because at
Mm-hmm.
that point it's like, you know what? As long as you got the message, that's all I
As
care
long
about.
as you got it, because that's all the
Right.
important part is,
Yeah.
as long as they got the message, you know.
Right.
Y'all, we
And
better get ready to
I
wrap up
think
this
that's
show
kind of
because this,
where Ronk coming from. It's just like no disrespect to you, but
the
you
thing
know,
is, I understand this
and
because
I'm
I
guilty of it.
understand
I'm
how
guilty of
people,
it.
uh, right, but I understand how people view things. I
Yeah.
have, there's a lot of things that I do in life that people don't normally do. The average person doesn't jump up and do some of the things that I've done in life. It's just it is. I mean, let's even this use my studios for instance. Going to do that project, going to do some of the other projects I've done in the past. Even I don't do stuff that is just average everyday stuff. So therefore, I don't always say average everyday stuff as well. So
Yeah.
if people don't take my route and go do all these things, they may not follow me in the things that I say either. I have that understanding about me, and I'm not offended.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
can be. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, I know I'm a weird motherfucker. And I don't expect everybody to be the same weird I'm weird that I am.
right?
So
And I
you have
just,
to
yeah, I
you
just,
so and the reason I say that is because Tanya, you might be weird to some people. Like, yeah.
yeah, I think
I'm being
I am
silly. I'm being
because
silly.
I'm
I'm being
not just
silly.
weird
But
in my views. I'm weird in the fact that I go and do stuff that I will never forget. This I did a project with Black Enterprise magazine. It was a Carnival Cruise thing, and this woman called me. She said, "I just had to call you, see who you were. That you have your nerve to put
Excuse
your
me.
name on the side of a cruise ship." And the thing is, the fact that she said that, she was honest about it because she
right.
said, I had to call you to see who you were, that you had a nerve to do that. And that's how it is with me. I have the nerve to do a lot of stuff, and I have the nerve to say a lot of stuff. And I have that
Right.
understanding that it doesn't always go over well. I get that. I get it 1,000%. People gonna think I'm crazy when I get ready to go do some of the stuff. I ain't even told y'all some of the stuff that I got planned. They gonna think I'm crazy, but they may
No,
never
we
know
don't
at the
think.
same
We
time because
know.
a lot of stuff. Well, a lot of things y'all might know about because you're gonna be inside the house with me. But you may know the things that I do, but the Gen Pop they may not know. But if they did, they probably say, "Oh wow, this girl's crazy," because they couldn't fathom somebody wanting to do those particular things.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. I can't say weird.
Well,
I'll just say different, different.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I call it creative genius. You know what I'm saying? I call it
I
creative
call it
genius.
that
I'm
too.
never gonna call it. Yeah, it's creative genius. And everybody come from different parts of the world. And if you think of it
Hmm.
like this, if you think of it like this, uh, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to put it. When you think of it like this here, when you think of, let's just say, people from uh Montana, Minnesota, Iowa, and what they may have been exposed to or not exposed to. And then you start thinking about
Hmm.
people from the East Coast and then the people from the South. Everybody's experiences are different. I went to the military, and certain people from Montana, Iowa, and those parts of the country, when they came to basic training, some people would not,
Hmm.
even though we had upper bunks and lower bunks, they had never seen a black person before, and they'd be damned if they
Hmm.
slept in a bunk where a black person was sleeping up under them or on top of them.
Hmm.
Didn't mean that that they hated us. They just never experienced that.
Right.
6 weeks, 8 weeks of basic training, and you
These
end up
best
helping
friends.
them, and now y'all friends, you best friends like a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So and I use that example because that's exactly what the fuck happened. People was just like, nah, fuck
Hmm.
that. I ain't sleeping with them. And I'm like, and where I came from, I'm like, man, fuck you. Bitch, you don't want to sleep on the motherfucking bunk hole. You like, bitch, I ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't know you. Bitch, I don't, like, whatever. And that's how it went down. But then
Right.
when y'all when your common enemy is the TI who yelling at you and cussing you out and spitting in your face and making your life live in hell, well, hey man, we
Uh-huh.
gotta work this shit out because this motherfucker right here is getting in our shit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And then
Uh-huh.
you help them through an obstacle course, or you know some shit that they don't, but you help them get through something. And now the guy that's yelling at you ain't yelling at you no more because you figured the shit out, which what they wanted you to do in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Now they
Hmm.
respect you a little bit more. Or when you deploy, and it really don't matter where the fuck you from because the people that you over there deploy with, they just hate Americans, period. They don't give a fuck if you white, black, or indifferent. You know
Right.
what I mean? They hate you and they finna blow your motherfucking top off. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And you like, hey man,
What you got?
get your ass in this goddamn truck. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but they finna blow some shit up. Like, get your ass in this
Right.
truck. Like, and then you end up saving their life. And they like, yo, man, thanks, bro. Because if I hadn't gotten the truck, I'd have been out there with them. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Right.
And now y'all best friends, and now y'all battle buddies, and so on and so forth. So it's just one of them things,
Right.
man, where uh some people are just taught certain things and they don't know no better. Some people
Hmm.
actually don't know no better,
Right.
and then
I
they
like
are
that.
they're put in a situation to where everything they was taught is no longer the norm. And then they
Hmm.
realize, holy shit, I've been taught the wrong thing my whole fucking life. Cause this
Hmm.
completely black guy who doesn't know me just fucking saved my life
It
simply
saved my life.
because he's a
Mm-hmm.
different, he's a unique individual and didn't give two fucks about the way I was raised.
Well, that's what people are going to see coming soon. I really have. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I think is gonna, and I'm gonna say this, and then we gotta close this segment. But remember, I said this before, and I think one thing that's going to draw the population together is when individuals finally realize that we're not the only ones on the in the universe of the galaxy, that there's other life forms that's out there that walk amongst us every day. And I think that's going to draw the humanoids together a little bit more.
Yeah, gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
You tell a motherfucker, hey, you over there thinking about black, white, and Mexicans
Yes.
and Asians. Bitch, you got a whole nother species on this bitch. That's
Right.
that.
The reptilians, the snake people, the fish people, all these different ones, and and you worried about something like that. I think it would bring people together a
But
totally
anyway,
different way.
but
But
cool.
before we
Hey,
go into
reality
some of
check.
the,
That's what that is. That's
yeah,
reality check.
that's a reality check for real. We
So
had a long reality check tonight
my
too.
question would be: is the reality check based on the world changing sports teams and presidential folks in the elites, family,
It's a
friends, and loved ones?
yeah,
When we
it's
talk
a
about reality
whole
check, just
smorgasbord.
exactly what the hell are we talking about?
It is a whole smorgasbord of things in your life that you see, and can you see through it to see that we are changing as a world? Can you see through it all
The cloak and dagger.
as an individual? Yeah. Okay, I'm mad at both of y'all for drinking on stuff. Okay, well, let's go to break. We'll be back in a moment, y'all. Let's go to
Oh,
break. All right. Hey, welcome back. You know what's so funny is that we had three people in this discussion tonight, but these discussions were longer sometimes than the discussions with a lot of people in here, mostly because Michael asked me talking a lot, which is
Hey,
good.
look,
You know what I'm saying? It's
look,
good.
man. I'm just saying. I know you talk, I talk, and I know Veronica
Yeah.
be having a lot of stuff on her mind too. So I know that I am a talker, and I ain't been on here in about a
Yes.
month, so I got a lot of shit to say.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
But
glad. I'm glad you have asked me a question. And when Mike asked me the question, he kind of like broke it down to me where I could answer the question. So therefore, I
Mhm.
mean, and I understand what y'all be talking about or whatever. But like I said, politics,
Mhm.
it goes over my head. I do vote, and I only try to, I sit and listen and see what's going on. And like I said, I do go out and vote, but get in and keep watching it and keep watching because it seems like, okay, I went and voted for this person. He ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. Then I lose interest.
so I would say this, and I don't know. I blame a lot of shit on the way I was raised and my beliefs and thoughts about certain things, and I just feel like at an early age I realized that what we think count really don't count.
Mhm.
Uh, so, but my question would be, and I guess I would be a hypocrite when I say this, but I'm learning now. Motherfucker, you voted for, let's just say during a presidential election, ain't doing what they supposed to do. The midterm
Mhm.
elections, when you start learning about the House and the Senate and the this and that, some things matter, some things don't. And I'm gonna tell you this right here. This
Boy.
term, this hold on, this term is what
Okay.
I learned recently in my 30s and now 40s. Constituents. When
I will
you
let y'all
learn,
know right this moment.
when you learn what a
I did.
constituent is, I'm just saying, when
Right.
you learn what a constituent
Mhm.
is, constituents matter more than anything, more than any vote that you cast on a ballot.
But I'm
And
gonna
I'll
let
leave
Veronica
and
know
I'll leave
the
it at
reason
that.
why
I'll leave it at that.
is seeing what she's seeing, because when they are running for office, they broke as a joke, just like we are. When they get into office, they start selling out. They start getting all that money,
They
and they
start
become
playing into their
millionaires.
constituents.
Yes, yep. They start doing all that stuff, and they start getting
The other thing I learned
blackmailed and
too,
all this other stuff.
the other thing I learned too, it ain't the president and the vice president that's running stuff. It's Congress.
The
Mm,
constituents.
yeah.
You know,
Well, you know what?
so
Let's put it this way too. You know, a lot of that's going away. We're not going to have big government anymore. That when everything
Veronica,
breaks down this time in the transition, you're going to
Veronica.
see there's about two. Hold on. There's about 2/3 of Congress that were dirty. I think it's about 2/3, completely dirty, already gone, already gone,
So
already gone. And so is those two people who are already gone. You're looking at clones, body doubles, robots, stretch skins, people with masks
so
on. You look at all this stuff. The people were gone last year. They've been gone.
right. So
I don't
Veronica,
understand why people can't see this. I'm saying one more thing. I showed you all the pictures, the two Joe Bidens. But what about when they were changing Kamala Harris? It was so obvious that it was a different person, that we were all like, who the hell is this? Because there was a moment in there, this one they had in the transition didn't look like either one of them. And we're looking right at it. And I say, people convince themselves that they see what they see. And that's the sad part. Go
so
ahead.
Veronica, I'm gonna say this. I don't know how much you play or pay attention to politics, but if you're trying to get somewhat of an understanding, and don't get me wrong, it is Hollywood, but some of the shows can help you understand, and these two shows that I feel like can help you understand certain things, and then you can formulate your own opinion based off of what you hear from Tanya, what you hear from other people, what you hear from the folks on the show. I would say two series or TV shows. You don't have to take them for gold, but they will
Mm-hmm.
kind of help you understand a little bit. House of Cards and Designated Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Them two shows will
Yes.
kind of they will help you uh, with the baseline of what you say you don't necessarily get or understand. They will help you a little bit. And if you watch them, let's just say you start watching them and you got questions, baby girl, I'm here to help you. I'm here to
You know, the
help
thing
you.
that's so crazy, I didn't really
Yeah.
know until Designated Survivor came out that there is really the designated survivors. They actually
Right,
have that's really real.
right.
If anything happens to the president, the vice president, the speaker, and all the way down, there is a person
Yeah,
on for
there's
each
a chain of
party.
succession. There's a chain of
Yeah.
succession. But the reason I say
Hmm.
this is because when you start looking at red and blue, you know, Republican and Democrats,
Hmm.
there are independent people. There are a few
Hmm.
people that actually believe that they can make a difference. But because the history of Republicans and Democrat is so deeply rooted, it's hard for an independent to even get anything
Right.
done. You know what I mean?
But that's going to
Because
change because the parties are going away. The parties is going to
right.
fade. It's getting ready to fade.
So
Start
baby
fading.
girl, if you trying to understand or you want to try to somewhat try to get what's what, I would say watch those two shows. And I'm not going to insult your intelligence, but you should get most of it. But if you have a couple of questions or some things you need explaining, just holler at me, holler at your kinfolk. Uh, and you know, I don't have no problem trying to you know help you out trying to figure it out, because a lot of it I had to go and do my research. I'm sitting there looking at some shit, and I'm Googling like a motherfucker at the same time I'm trying to watch the show. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
straight up. Like, cause I'm
But
like,
that's why I
damn.
used to love Scandal, because you learn a lot in Scandal too. Remember?
Right.
Yeah, no, I learned some stuff over Scandal.
Yeah.
Then I
Yeah,
was like, did this really go on in the White House?
Man.
yeah.
Yo.
It had a lot of information in Scandal,
Yeah. You know.
so I
So
missed that. I missed that.
mm,
All right, y'all. What do y'all have coming up this week before we get on out of
uh
here?
Go ahead, Mike. You go first.
me, well, I'm gonna have to go to New Jersey and talk to the Air Force because these motherfuckers keep trying to. I done been retired for about 6-7 months,
Mm-hmm.
and they telling me I owe certain funds to them when I felt like I rectified my shit before I retired, and now they saying, "No, motherfucker, you you didn't do something before you left," and I'm like, "No, motherfucker, I got documents to say that I handled that." So I'm
Right.
gonna have to go up here and try to
Mm-hmm.
straighten some shit out as best I know how. Uh,
All right.
uh
20
you
minute
know.
mark.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. My bad. But
You were
anyway,
still deep in there. You were
my
still deep
bad.
in
My
there.
bad, man. Hey, look, we talking about money. So if anybody in
Right.
the public world don't understand when somebody try to tell you that you owe some money and you know damn well you don't, or you think you don't,
Right.
we know how that
You
goes.
better go regulate, huh?
You know what I'm saying? But
I
no, I'm gonna
understand.
go try to handle some stuff. I think it was some mix up in paperwork, so I gotta go try to handle that stuff out. Other than that, man, really, as I nurse back to my full 100% self, uh,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It's about to get deep, man. It's about to get deep. I am going to flood you guys in the personal chats with some of the new projects that I've been working on.
mhm.
But anyway, and then we'll go there. But other than that, man, I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling. I'm just, chilling and rebounding, and that's all I got.
All righty.
Well,
Rock, what you got? Thank you, Michael, for being here.
I'm so sorry.
It's
I'm sorry.
always
Tell the
it's
people.
always good
Tell the
experience with Mike is here.
I know. Tell the people Mike ain't been on in about a month. He probably forgot some of the rules and regulations. Don't hold it against him. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I had to get used to things when we came back last week because, when you're just off for a while like that, it does kind of, things
for some,
do go
Right.
yeah.
away, float away. And so
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
getting
Well,
back in.
I don't have too much going on this week.
Hmm.
Just got a couple of more doctor's appointments. Mike, you missed it last week when I had explained. I gave out some good news. I went to the doctor
Hmm.
in February, and I was a certain weight, and then when I turned around and went back a couple of weeks ago, I lost 12 pounds.
Oh, well, hot damn. Hot damn.
So,
Oh shit. Okay.
and
All right.
I'm continuing. I'm going to continue on trying. Well, I really didn't try the
Hmm.
first time, but I'm just going to keep on doing what I've been doing.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm up moving around more than I was, but drinking more water.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
know, other than that, I'm trying to do a little something, something.
Okay. All right.
Because when I
Shit.
come when I, so when I get there in June, when I get there in June, it's gonna be.
Okay. Oh, no, she didn't throw the hat back. Okay. I ain't got nothing to throw back. I wish I did, but
He's stupid. He's stupid. Oh,
But
yeah. Well,
Maya, what you got
I'm
going?
hoping to. I'm hoping that I can feel better this week because I don't like the fact that my weight loss is because I have no appetite. I don't like that. It ain't fun.
It sucks. It sucks
Yeah.
because I
It's
will tell
yeah.
you all the weight that I've lost. I have
Hmm.
done zero exercise, zero
Right.
push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, nothing. And that's what had me
Hmm.
nervous. I'm like, I done lost 25 pounds and I ain't did not nan lick of exercise. Tell
Right.
me, like I felt like what's that group? Tell me why. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I ain't this
Right.
shit. Like, tell me
Yeah, I
why.
don't like it because I don't like
Mine
the
is
way that I
stress.
feel right now. Mine is, I
Mhm.
know I have anxiety, but I don't like the way I feel. I feel like I developed an ulcer on top of everything because of the move and then my great nephew passing and then just everything that happened. I think I developed an ulcer because it brought back that same pain at the top of my stomach that I had when I was younger. So I don't like none of the feeling that I have, the lack of appetite, choosing very carefully what I can fix as a meal to make myself eat. I don't like none of that, So I'm hoping that I hope every day wake up
It's-
that this will
Look,
be the day that I start
apples,
feeling better.
oranges, bananas, and tangerines and lemons is what it's been for me. And
Really.
salads, and then I'll eat. I
Hmm.
will force myself to eat chicken,
Hmm. Right.
brisket, something like that. And when I'm saying I'm eating that stuff, and I'm not cooking it for me, I'm cooking it for whomever's visiting. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Uh,
It's not a good feeling to feel that. And
right. But I
I'm,
gotta, I
I'm
got, but I gotta taste it. You see what I'm saying? I gotta taste it because
uh-huh,
I can't put my product
right.
out there and not know that it ain't tasting
To
right.
be
You know what I'm
proud of.
saying? You know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
do feel like I feel like I'm gonna move towards. We are a few days away from May, and in my mind, I go through this from January to May or June, and that I'm getting close to the point where this gonna is gonna subside. So that's the only thing that I feel good about is that I'm getting close to that point where I won't be so sickly anymore because that ain't fun at all. I would rather be at the gym losing weight than losing weight because I ate a carrot and that's
Yeah.
all I want. But y'all, let me do my social media and we'll come back and end it all. Here we go. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media.
One, two, one, two,
As
1, 2.
I
Everybody,
said before,
what is you gonna
I
do?
need to I need to expand because I keep saying I have a TikTok and at some point I am going to use my TikTok, and also we have the Instagram for our Imitates Life, and I'm going to at some point use that as well. So I mean I use it, but use it more. What are you laughing at?
Probably me.
I am, cause look, Veronica,
Even
I ain't never seen you do no shit like that, but that was a little tantalizing.
what? But I just
Yeah,
did it.
and
Y'all are crazy.
oh,
Okay, I'm getting
That
ready
just
to
that
end
just
this because
got
I know
me.
what Mike.
You know how it gets you about right here. You know that
Uh
yeah,
huh.
got me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't like
It
that
got
feeling. I,
it got me. The last little drop got me. Ugh.
yeah,
I couldn't do this. So I just
yeah. Hmm.
well, thank you all again for being here. Thank you all for tuning in. For another edition of our Imitates Live. I hope that didn't go too far for you and all these subjects that we did on who spiked the tea and then all that stuff on the living room and. I kind of feel like I got chastised a little bit, but I can handle it. The thing is, I want to know. I want
Whoa,
people to
whoa.
know
Where you get
what I feel and where I'm
chastised
coming
at?
from.
Where
I
you
mean,
get
y'all asked me
chastised
a lot of questions, but it's okay because it gives me a chance to explain where I get my information, or how I get my information, or whatever,
at?
or how I
All
feel
I'm
about
gonna
said
say is,
information. So
you can't have me gone for over a month and don't think I ain't gonna come back with some
I ain't
heat.
mad at you. I
So,
ain't mad at you at all. So if you all out there want to be a part of the heat, with Mike. I would love to see
Come
y'all
on
come in
back.
this comment section or come on here to this platform to hit me. Info@tandiland.com so you can come on up and show here and do a little battle with Mr. Mike. So hit us at
You can't say
info@tandiland.
Mr. Mike. This is with everybody. You just can't
No,
blame me. Like,
Mike gonna drop that heat on you. I'm telling you, he gonna drop that heat on you. But if you are a Gmail person and you prefer to hit us on Gmail, hit us at tandygirl, AIL. Did I do it right? Yeah, at gmail.com. And so you can questions, comments, anything. Tandy girl. Be sure to just hit us. And we'd love to have folks coming here as a guest panelist or who want to be a
yeah, come on
full-time
in. Come
panelist.
on in the
Yes.
room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Mike gonna hand it to you. So,
Hey, look, stepped in the water. Water was cold. Chill my body, but not my soul. Come on, Nelly. Come on.
okay. Oh Lord. I don't know what this child gonna say next. I don't know.
Please.
I'm just saying.
Yes. So, but I enjoy being here with y'all. I always do. You know what? It gives me a chance to, for a moment, forget the things that I'm going through too. I mean, it's not fun always trying to breathe and then being here and always thinking about it all day long. And so when I'm here with y'all, I get a chance to forget about that for just a little bit and just enjoy being here and being in the conversation. So I appreciate being here and I appreciate you all being and taking the time out and having this conversation with me. Look forward to next week, jumping in here and seeing who's going to be with us next week and doing it all over again and preparing for larger platforms, which we're going to.
And let me
So,
tell you something, Tanya.
yes.
We appreciate you.
Of course. No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. No giggling.
Thank you.
Okay.
You see, Mike, you see the studio behind us? I'll tell you when we get off there. I will tell you behind.
Yeah. We'll talk about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Do your thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I got some thoughts. My mind just went somewhere. I got some thoughts. But anyway, all of you out there, I thank you all for being here yet another episode of AIL. And as I always say in parting, good things come to those who believe. Better things come to those who are patient, but the best things come to those who never give up. I'm Tanya Dixon. This is the AIL team right here. You all have a beautiful week, and we'll see you next time on Art Imitates Live. See y'all now.